Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
Spring is here and it's time to party. Who wants to spend hours upon hours on the smoker while everyone else is having a good time? Nobody. That's who. Call Dead End Barbecue at 865-414-9417 and let a top 100 barbecue restaurant handle the food so you can enjoy your party. The school year is getting close to ending, which means graduation parties and end-of-the-year celebrations. Don't be stuck on the grill. Pick up the phone and call 865-414-9417 and ask for Leah. Dead End Barbecue. Your catering search is over.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a red flag.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-200-5503 is our telephone number to the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Hope you are having a great morning, and we really appreciate you joining us here on 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Also, the Swain Event app that's free for Android and Apple devices. You can stream us online at SwainEvent.com. And if you are watching on Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville on Periscope, Facebook Live, and YouTube, good morning. How you doing? Brad Matthews, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain here. I start every show by asking you individuals, how you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing all right. Ready to talk. I'm just so glad.
Ready to talk? No.
I'm ready to talk. Go figure. My job is to talk, and I'm ready to talk. But to talk actually about football stuff that it is happening in real time. We're not just speculating. We're throwing out top 10 lists and nonsense like that. No, we had actual coaches talking actual football yesterday. It was so exciting. And I am ready.
It's the unofficial kickoff. How can you not be excited right now if you're a fan of an SEC team? Tennessee's close. We got a little teaser yesterday. Coach O, Jimbo, and some new knits, and also Mark Stoops. I'm excited. Of course, how can you not be?
Yeah, Coach O's in trouble, man. He better win. He better win this year. He's in some trouble. Expectations are very high at LSU. Expectations should be high at Texas A&M, all the money they spent for Jimbo Fisher, but it is a drop in the bucket for A&M. They are actually printing money at A&M. But the league improved from 2017 to 2018, the quality of coaches, adding Jimbo Fisher to the league immediately made the league better.
Absolutely.
So the SEC is getting stronger. That means that programs from the top of the top, the boosters down to the administration, down to the fans, everyone has to up their game. Everyone is making moves to try to dethrone Alabama. Is it going to be easy? No. Will it happen? Who knows? But moves are being made, and so you better get in where you fit in. 865-200-5503. We'll talk about Elijah Simmons, big defensive tackle from Pearl Cohn High School there in Middle Tennessee. He committed yesterday. We'll talk to David Ubben from The Athletic. Gerald Harrison Man, so proud of Gerald. Was named athletic director at Austin Peay. Long-time Tennessee staff member. Worked at several different areas inside the Tennessee football program. Went and followed David Cutcliffe to Duke when Coach Cut left after 2007 season here at Tennessee. And he interviewed for a couple AD jobs. I thought that there was a possibility he would come back to Tennessee. But he is now the AD at Austin Peay. So happy for him. And he's going to join us at 8 o'clock. And so very, very excited about that. Austin Peay right there in Clarksville, Tennessee. Very happy for Gerald Harrison. Maybe you are looking at the future AD at University of Tennessee. Who knows? Coach Fulmer not going to be the AD long term. So maybe there's several choices out there. You have Scott Carter, you have Gerald Harrison, you have several folks that used to work under Coach Fulmer who are now ADs at other schools. Obviously, we'll talk about SEC Media Days. That is the lead today on the program, as Tennessee has to wait another day for their turn. But today we get Georgia, we get Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Florida. And then tomorrow Tennessee is joined by Missouri, Bama, and Mississippi State. But I thought yesterday was good. Hearing from two coaches that pretty straightforward, and Coach Orgeron and Coach Jimbo Fisher has some very good things to say about Jeremy Pruitt. We'll share those things with you to start the show. But first, let's get to the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline, and let's bring in Andy. Good morning.
Good morning, Vol family. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning, Andy.
What's up?
How you doing?
Doing all right. Yeah, it was really good to hear what Jimbo Fisher had to say about Jeremy Pruitt. That shows a lot of people do respect Jeremy Pruitt.
Absolutely.
Another thing, Elijah Simmons. Yeah, I think he's really going to be something special. I think he's got a year of high school left, so he's still got time to grow. But he already looks pretty good size, like he can play in the SEC now. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, Andy.
And,
Andy.
Other than that,
Andy, why do you feel that Simmons will be a good player?
just his size. I mean, not many of them come straight out of high school already, and they've got a year left at that size.
He's a big boy.
353, just under 6'1". Yeah, it's a hefty-sized fella.
Yeah, there were some discrepancies there. Saw a couple people say he was 6'2", a couple people say he was like 6'1.5". Either way, he's a big old boy, and that's all you really need to know.
He's a big boy. Well, Andy, thanks for the phone call, man. Really appreciate that. 350 pounds. 350. I wonder where he's going to play.
But what was exciting about him, if you watch tape, first of all, some of his best highlights are him playing on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Playing guard. He's a mauler.
And then also, this dude, when he just bull rushes, he can take dudes off their feet. Of course, he's playing against guys that are half his size over there in Nashville. But at the same time, not everybody can do that. So,
yeah, he's a big old boy, and he camped here at Tennessee, impressed the coaches enough to get a committable offer, and he made it official yesterday. When I saw that he was choosing between Missouri and Memphis, Tennessee, I had a good feeling that he would be picking Tennessee, but I really, really, really tried to let these players have their moment. It's the only moment in history. Well, it'd be the only moment for them that they'll be able to make this commitment. And so everyone wants to know, okay, if we're going to get him, is he going to come? And a lot of people behind the scenes talking about, Simmons being a commitment yesterday, and glad that it's official. He has a ton of potential. This is what Barton Simmons from 24/7 Sports had to say about Simmons, and Barton's right there in Nashville. And Barton, again, is one of the best dudes in the game at evaluating. Played the game, puts a ton of time. He's super fair. And so when Barton Simmons speaks on a kid, I tend to listen. That's how much respect I got for Barton Simmons. But when I saw Elijah Simmons' picture, him standing on a brick wall with a chain around his neck, I don't need to see one play of highlights. I don't need to see one play of game film. Coach Pruitt and company, just like other coaches, they're not going to make a move on a highlight film. A highlight film is called a highlight film. So it's going to show all the positives. A highlight film is just like a social media picture. It's like an Instagram picture. What about the lowlights? What about the lowlights? What about when you are tired? What about when you're not playing a really good opponent? How do you play in those plays? That's what I want to know. Instagram pictures, we've seen them. We've seen them. Guy got a six-pack. Girl looking all good. Looking all skinny. And then you see the original picture. Wait a minute. Janet Jackson looking like Freddie Jackson. That is what a highlight video is about. It is designed to show nothing but positive plays. What about you getting ran over by little Jimmy and Timmy? He ain't showing that one. Those are the plays that I want to see. This is why college coaches are watching the entire game of a high school film, not just the highlights. But you know what? I don't need to see the game. I don't need to see a highlight. I don't need to see anything. We don't need to talk. You don't need to fill out a questionnaire. I don't care about your grades. All I know is
that image was enough.
That image was all I need. You are old enough. You're old. You're looking old enough to be mature enough to qualify. That's my logic there. By that picture, red shirt, you look like you only got one more year of eligibility in college. That picture says it all. Grown man. Now, we have our own recruiting standards here at the Swain event. Our own recruiting profile. I know Coach Pruitt and Nick Saban and all those guys, they have their own recruiting profile about what they look for in a player. But we have our own too. We have dissected, we have studied, we have analyzed what it takes to play in the SEC. And just in case you forgot, after the break, we'll share those recruiting guidelines with you. I think Elijah Simmons matches every single one of our guidelines for a big-time prospect. 865-255-03, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Brad Matthews, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain. 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Stay with us. Be right back.
Hour one of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
When you or a loved one is injured in an accident, there are a lot of questions. There are medical bills, lost work time, damages. What will you do? You'll need someone who will have your back. Call former Marine Marcos Garza, 865-540-8300. The Garza Law Firm will be with you every step of the way. Put this number in your phone right now, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
It's Christmas in July at Better Mattress. Better Mattress has teamed up with Home Depot, and with select purchases, you can get a free Weber grill or choose a free adjustable base or a free headboard footboard while supplies last. Better Mattress has brands you know like Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, plus the brand I love, the Better Mattress brand, handcrafted in East Tennessee. Go to Better Mattress and get a free adjustable base, free headboard footboard, or free Weber grill while supplies last. 6 area locations, bedrmattress.com. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
The Swain Event 5-star recruiting guidelines, just in case you forgot. You must look old enough to rent a car. You must look old enough to collect Social Security. You must be old enough to remember renting a Blockbuster video.
Yes.
If you don't remember Blockbuster, you don't look old enough.
Come on, Mom, it's Friday night.
And not in the way of like, hey, let's go to Blockbuster, and the Blockbuster is closing and they're having this giant sale. So I'm talking like, back in the day, hey,
like every weekend.
Hey, Mom, take me to Blockbuster.
You go with Mom and Dad to Blockbuster and you pick out 1 or 2 movies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Video games too, remember?
Occasionally.
That's where you get your video games.
They were a good boy that week.
Yeah, they were more expensive, so that was like a deal.
Yeah. You must look old enough to sip on Jack Daniels straight.
There you go.
You must look old enough to be a substitute teacher.
Love that one.
You must look old enough to be a security guard at the mall. You know them dudes at the mall.
Segway.
Looking just looking like they've been through some things in life. They do not want you to steal from Dillard's. You must look old enough to remember when Sammy Sosa was black. You remember that? You know what I'm talking about now.
Those were the days.
Making that money.
Sammy Sosa is the Pink Panther now, but you must remember when he was black, playing for the Cubs. All right, you must look old enough to not tell who was older when this player standing next to his head coach. You can't tell who's the coach here, who's the player. You got to look old enough to not be able to tell. You must look old enough to look sleepy about 9 p.m. That means you're getting old. When you start getting sleepy around 9.
Got those dad eyes.
Exactly. You must look old enough to be 5 years away from retirement.
Yes.
Retirement. Yep, that's right. You must look old enough to be in the hair club for men. I mean, if you got a receding hairline, you're about 17, 16 years old, perfect. Yep. Perfect. You look old. You look old. All right. You must look old enough to pee in the middle of the night regularly.
Yeah.
You get older, the bladder is not as strong.
Gosh, now I'm starting to feel old.
Yeah, you're getting up. I think you got to pee right now, Brad, don't you?
Yep.
You must look old enough to rather chill on your official visit than to go out. You know how you get older.
That really is like an older. That's one that I've definitely hit where I just am like, but what if we didn't go and drink a lot? Hey.
I'm tired. Let's just chill.
That's a lot of walking.
I'm too old to be hanging out in the clubs. I need a guy to look old like that. Okay. You must look old enough to ask about the weather to start a conversation. You know how old folks are. That's their go-to line.
Supposed to storm today.
Man, it was hot and nice last night. Yesterday, boy, the storm came out of nowhere.
See those clouds?
Man, yeah,
they're rolling in.
Woo.
I mean, some of these boys, we can
humid.
add this to the list. Some of these guys look like they were bouncing at Rumors 10, 12 years ago.
R.I.P. to Rumors.
Yeah.
And they're coming to play football.
It's true.
Balls.
That's true.
For those that don't know what Rumors is, that's a club.
Yeah, that was used to be on the Strip.
Yeah, you can't keep up with all the name changes there, but yeah, you know how old folks do it, man. They always start a conversation talking about the weather. Whew, it's gonna be a nice day today. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a nice day.
I mean,
you must look old enough to shave after every 3 days. Every 3 days you have to shave, and then last but not least, you must be old enough to remember shopping at Montgomery Ward. Do you remember Montgomery?
That is
Ward?
old.
Yeah, that is old right there.
Yeah.
Montgomery Ward, get those duck head polo shirts and those Docker khaki shorts. Yeah, you remember those days. I know you do, Charlie. You were.
I think Grandma.
I was a duckhead kid for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Elijah Simmons fits that, especially old enough to rent a car. I think Ben, if you ever need a car, because I don't know if Ben is 25 yet. He's not. He just graduated. If you ever need to rent a car, you don't need your parents to help you. You can just holler at Elijah Simmons. He will help you rent a car. Okay.
They won't need to ID him. They'll just say, you're good.
No.
Seems about right.
I remember Panama City Beach. I went on spring break, and this is
about to be a La Vila story.
No, this ain't that bad. But young and dumb. Time of your life, and we wanted to see if we would get carded if we walked in, and I didn't look like a normal 18-year-old, or normal 17-year-old, and so I walked in, and I remember we were kind of joking around, and we were trying to talk like grown-ups, having grown folks conversation. We weren't talking about PlayStation or
that was a tough day at the office today, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man,
yes, it
look
was.
at these clouds up there in the sky.
Exactly.
What a beautiful day on the beach.
Let's have like a grown man conversation.
My pension is about to vest.
Yes, yes. Grown man conversation. Yeah, man, had to pick up the kids at daycare the other day. Stuff like that. Grown man conversation. So we were like,
Smooth.
acting out a grown man conversation and being like super loud about it. And the guy working up at the front of the desk looked at us. He was like shaking his head like, yeah, man. I can. I agree. Yeah. So we never got carded. And so we walked in and walked out a liquor store. We're 17 years old in Florida.
Wow.
And never got carded because we look grown. I mean, grown men at 17 years old. So are you surprised that we didn't get carded at the Florida liquor store?
Absolutely.
At the age of 17? Not surprised at all. But it was the grown man conversation that got us by. Grown man conversation. Hey, man, you see those new Dockers on sale over there in Montgomery Ward? They're about 25% off. I gotta cop me a pair of those at Montgomery Ward. No doubt about it. It was a grown man conversation.
No doubt about it.
All right, let's get to Andre on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Andre, good morning.
Good morning. What's going on?
Hey, Andre. Everything, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, first I wanted to shout out Ben for that instrumental. I know where it comes from.
Oh, okay.
And as far as this new recruit, man, this guy, he looks like a security guard at the club. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
He's a big dude. And as far as football goes, we run a 3-4, right?
Yes.
So all this guy got to do is be what he do. Like, he just stand there, hold the center, and throw him out the way. and make the tackle. That's what we need. We ain't had that in a while. So I like this pickup right here.
Yeah, he reminds me, and not. I hope this doesn't come across as an insult, because this dude has been just embarrassing in his time in the NFL, getting in trouble, and we remember him by his stomach block here at Alabama against Tennessee in 2009. But the way that Terrence Cody was used at Alabama in 2009, big body run stuffer, you just could not move him. This guy is 350 pounds, 330 pounds. Do they try to, slim him up, or do they keep him the same or beef him up to be a plugger there in the middle of that 3-4 defense? But this is a big old boy. The narrative is that, Tennessee is not doing this and not doing that in the state of Tennessee recruiting, but it seems like they're being very selective. They're letting some go, but not everyone go. And there's a few guys who are committed to other schools that they absolutely want, but there's also some players who are ranked high in the state of Tennessee that they just do not want because of their evaluation. So they don't want everybody in Tennessee, but it looks like they are interested in a few.
I don't want to hear nobody say nothing else about Tennessee unless we get, Trey Knox. As far as, the speed positions and, the athletes, we need to hit Georgia, California, Florida, and then that's the class right there, North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, you want Trey Knox, you want Cormonte Hamilton out there, Whitehaven. You definitely want him. You want Bill Norton in Memphis. You'll take Eric Gray, probably. He is the Michigan commit, U.S. Army All-American. So there's some players definitely in the state of Tennessee. Zion Laug, who committed to Georgia, you would have took him. So there's some players in the state of Tennessee that you certainly want and you would take, but you're not taking every single player that's rated in the top 5 or top 10 in the state of Tennessee because they don't meet your evaluations of what you're looking for in a player. But good get, though, definitely for Tennessee, man, bringing in Elijah Simmons. He definitely looks like a security guard at the mall. You're right about that, Andrew. Andre.
We got the Orange Attic, he said. He must look old enough to be on the grill at a cookout.
Yeah.
I like that one. To be, he standing there. Typically, it's the dad spot.
Yeah.
Got the apron on.
Yeah, apron with a wife beater. Yes. You got to have the wife beater on.
That's the uniform.
And the towel.
Yeah, the towel, the wife beater.
Towel over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Apron on, wife beater.
Yeah, because you don't give kids the responsibility of being on the grill during the cookout.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, that's a huge responsibility. You are responsible for every piece of food that is consumed by folks at the cookout. We got time for you to be on your phone, playing Fortnite, keeping up with the latest trends. You might burn the hot dogs or the hamburgers or the chicken. You got to keep out of it.
Some people might like a burnt hot dog.
Well, you're right, but you can't be too burnt. So, yes, Elijah Simmons does look like he controls the family reunion cookout. Yes. Correct answer. Correct answer there. 865-255-03. B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Stay with us. Be right back.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Small town, like a small town when I'm with you.
Hey, it's Jason Swain. There's a lot of people talking about testosterone, but do your homework and go to a medical provider that you trust and that specializes in testosterone. I got my levels tested at the Low T Center. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T. At the Low T Center, it's quick and easy. Treatment is even covered by most health insurance. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV.
Brad is on the ones and twos this morning. Brad joins us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Ben is on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We have a shift, kind of like a real job. So you have an old school clock-in card right in front of the door when you walk into the studio.
It's hardcore.
So Brad is on the clock today. Let's go to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's bring in Charles. Charles, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Hey, Charles.
How's it going?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, Swain.
Good.
I know y'all talking SEC football, Swain, but I got to ask you, did you see Colin Sexton last night?
Man, I did not,
I saw a little bit of it, Charles.
Lord have mercy.
Did he get torched?
Oh, he got off last night. He had 27.
Man,
he had 27.
He was an afterthought. When it,
now, Josh Hart had 37.
There you go.
Okay. No, I didn't watch it, Charles. I've been in SEC football mode, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there, man. I'm almost there, though. I'm about getting there, though.
Don't worry. Tomorrow, hopefully, will help you get there because Prue is talking to the media.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's going to do for you, but hopefully that might help.
Yeah, I'm getting there slowly but surely, Swain. But I'm really keeping up with it because the Grizzlies are in the semifinals, I think, of the summer league. So
yes,
that's really why I'm into it. But real quick, Swain, recruiting Elijah Simmons. So he kind of now he went to a camp, like a week or two ago at Tennessee.
June 12th.
Yes.
June 12th.
Okay. Last month.
Okay, so now did he get committable offers from other programs like I know Memphis and South Carolina or Memphis,
Missouri?
Yeah.
Mizzou, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Charles, I think I know where you're going. He did not, from what I have seen and heard, he did not go to some of the other camps, the big-time programs in SEC, and receive those offers. So we are getting a guy that is not sought after by the Georgias and the Alabamas and the Floridas of the world. Is it because he didn't go to camp there, or is it because they don't want him? I don't know, but he did come to camp in Tennessee, and Tennessee liked what they saw in person. But you look at the rankings, and you probably ain't gonna do backflips if you are someone who looks at those things. but he's the body type that fits what this defense wants to do up front with the 3-4.
Right. Well, I kind of agree with you. I think something you said either yesterday or maybe it was Friday about how you trust this coaching staff's evaluations a lot more on players than you did the previous staff. I agree with you on that, man. And I saw his rankings and all that, but I also saw the film. And I understand who he's playing against, but more importantly, I trust the coaching staff and the guys who evaluate these players that they're recruiting, because they are definitely recruiting a different type of player. You can see it. 100%. And anyway, so I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, you guys have a great show. Hang up the way.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for the phone call. And I would be the first to admit I'm wrong here if this staff recruits this class and most of them are busts. I will be the first to admit I'm wrong here. But I'm a person that goes off of track record. I'm a person who goes off of you can't change stripes on a tiger, just the location. And these dudes on this staff, Terry Fairs down to the Charles Kellys, over to the Tyson Helton, they know what good football players are supposed to look like. They played in big-time conferences. Tracy Rocker was a big-time football player. I mean, you have all these guys on the staff. They know what it's supposed to look like. Pruitt coming from Alabama, Florida State, Georgia. They know what it's supposed to look like. And him officially putting his stamp on a player before an offer goes out. He does not let his coaches just throw out offers just because. It has to go through Jeremy Pruitt last. That recipe is a recipe that I believe in. And if I'm wrong 2-3 years later, I'll be the first to admit it. But the previous staff, I was always kind of like, oh, we'll see. Hey, the rankings look good. But you had Tommy Thigpen from the SEC. You had Willie Martinez that knows what good football players are supposed to look like in this conference. You had Robert Gillespie, who played in this conference. Coach Azani coached 1 year at Florida. So you had some sprinkles of guys that knew what it's supposed to look like, but you had a head coach who had no freaking clue. And because the head coach was so much of a micromanager, then you had another guy that was running recruiting that was a scout for the Cleveland Browns for a very, very long time too. And it just wasn't really a organized recruiting profile that was put forward. These guys did look at the stars. These guys made, deals with guys just for other reasons other than football to bring in guys. It was unreal. And so yes, we're looking at how these coaches recruit. The rankings don't jump off the page at you for some of these guys, but the process that I know that this coaching staff is carrying out, the process jumps out for me because I know they're being thoroughly evaluated. And that is super, super important.
And I think they're skipping a lot of levels in the relationship building process because the respect is earned and noticed by these young prospects when they realize how Tennessee and this coaching staff's going about things. They're not just throwing out a bunch of lingo, a bunch of jargon, whatever they need to say in that moment. When they say you have a committable offer, it's legit. It's real. It's not going to be taken out from under your feet, barring something unforeseen or something that you did and brought upon yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if we're fully trusting Pruitt and his staff, and at this point we don't necessarily have a reason not to, their recruiting is very pointed. It is very purposeful, so it seems. They are looking for certain types of players to do certain types of things in certain types of ways, and that's right now, to me, that looks good. Because I think they, in a way, they see we have to do it this way right now so that later we can get all these 5-star guys. We gotta win some first with dudes that can play in our system the correct way, and then we'll get these guys. That would be my guess as to their strategy.
I don't know if they're taking the Rick Barnes approach.
They are they're shooting high with a lot of these guys, and I think they're going to get some of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you got a Wanya Morris, and who's the number one offensive tackle in America. So But I could just see that at least being part of their strategy.
It's a balance between getting guys you know you can get and getting guys that you need to get to win. It's always a balance. Do you go after every single 5-star, 4-star player in the country?
No.
Yes and no. Because you ain't getting the best from Utah and Washington State and Arizona.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, you have to go after the top players that you may have a tie to, like the Henry, To'o, double O, triple O, quadruple O out there at De La Salle High School, the linebacker that is that has a link with Kevin Simon because that's where he played. So you have to take advantage of those relationships when you have them. Or you look at Coach Osavet, who has ties to the JUCO ranks. You have to use your resources. Terry Fair on the West Coast, Montero Hardesty in the Carolinas, Chris Winkie with IMG. So it's always a balancing act of going after guys you know you can get, or you have a better chance with, and guys that you need to get to help you win. But Elijah Simmons, I'm pretty sure he has a unique intangible. When you have a 3-star player, you got to have a unique intangible. If he's 6'1.5" or whatever, 350, he's either very, very strong or he's quick at his size, and we can build strength, and he can be a really good player. I remember when Dontari Poe came out of Memphis, and no one talked about him out of high school. No one really talked about him much at Memphis until he started to develop, and the dude was a freak. I remember him jumping out of a pool, flat-footed. Jumping out of a pool flat-footed right before the NFL draft, showing off his athleticism. And he had like a freakish combine. And look at him. He's been very productive in the NFL. So do you have that unique intangible as a 3-star? Maybe Simmons has it. Maybe. All right, we got Attaboy coming up next.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Showers and thunderstorms are likely today, mostly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low around 68. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high near 88 and a low around 67. Thursday also looks to be mostly sunny with a high in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com.
Warranty good at participating dealers.
With the hot weather and humidity comes mosquitoes and other pests. Let Southeast Termite and Pest Control take care of that problem for you. They offer one-time or package treatments that control biting adults as well as larvae. Southeast Termite and Pest Control has been in business since 1971 and is local and family-owned. They offer free estimates and quotes with no obligations. So don't get bit anymore. Go with the pest control company you can trust. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control at 865-925-3700 or find them online at southeasttermite.com.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
You're a hell of a guy, man.
Now that's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
This kid can draw circles.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Bam! Awesome. Phenomenal.
Attaboy.
Bring on the positivity. We are doing that in this segment. It's called Attaboy, where we highlight the positivity outside the world of sports and inside the world of sports. And Brad, Charlie, what do we have today?
I just got a quick attaboy for Nigel Warrior. I guess yesterday was the kickoff of essentially sort of the start of football, but it was also, in a way,
it's the unofficial kickoff to college football season.
It is, but also the kickoff of Watch the List season, baby. My favorite season of the year. Actually, not really. It's a little annoying just with all these watch lists. But it's nice when you see players that are working hard and doing good things on the football field getting noticed for that, even if they haven't won an award quite yet. And Nigel Warrior was named to the Bednarik Award watch list yesterday morning. And the Bednarik Award is given out to the top defensive player in America each and every year. Last year was won by Alabama's Minkah Fitzpatrick. And it's good to see the Nigel Warrior's efforts are not going unnoticed. They're getting a little side eye from national media, and that's good to see. So, attaboy to him, and even bigger attaboy will be coming if he has a big season in response.
So I've got several attaboys, all baseball related. Gear up, boys.
Oh boy.
Yan Gomes, former Tennessee catcher, now a current Cleveland Indian, is the first Brazilian-born Major League Baseball player to be nominated for the All-Star Game. So congratulations to him. I think that is a huge deal. I mean, just think about if you're born in the USA, early in your life you move to Brazil and you end up making the Brazilian national soccer team. I feel like that's kind of in the same ballpark. The first Brazilian-born player ever in Major League Baseball history to make the All-Star Game. So quick attaboy to Yan Gomes. And then two quick attaboys to the finalists last night in the Home Run Derby. Kyle Schwarber, we saw him play through the Smokies organization. How he has changed his body, slimmed down to play the outfield. How still his head has gotten to his swing now in comparison to where he was at with the Smokies. He was kind of everywhere. He had the power. Obviously, that's what got him a chance at the big league level. But he was going for the power swing. He was going for the long ball every single time he was at bat. You saw a quiet approach last night. You've seen that throughout the season. And then, of course, Bryce Harper. I know he's easy to hate, but how about the bat last night? This thing was being toted around by presidents, I'm sure, in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It said, "We the people," a beautiful piece of woodwork.
It was
and,
cool.
Of course, he gives the hometown crowd something to cheer for. Attaboy.
Bryce Harper is such a tool bag.
He's easy to dislike,
so
but he
hard
put
to
on a
root
show
for.
last night.
If you're not a Nationals fan, man, he is.
He put on a show last night. This is attaboy.
Yeah.
It's attaboy, Charlie. No negative comments.
He certainly does.
Attaboy.
I will give him that much.
All positivity. All good comments. Save your hate for what?
Ended up giving all of Nationals fans $1 tickets to the next home series because he ended up winning the Home Run Derby last night at Nationals Park.
It was cool. In general, that is a cool story. As unlikable as Bryce Harper might be, him winning that in D.C. and the whole thing was neat.
Because they've been having a tough season, a season where a lot of lofty expectations were put on this Washington Nationals team, and he struggled. His average is down, even though his power numbers are up. His average is down, so this was huge for him.
Yeah, in a way,
and his dad was throwing pitches to him last night. I think that's a great moment for him.
That is cool.
Great moment for future, sons in this game to maybe bring their dads whenever they get this moment.
In a way, is that not sort of frustrating for Nationals fans because he's winning the home run derby but only batting like 218 or something?
Yeah, but still
not
one of
great.
the best home run hitters in all of baseball
That's
right
true.
now. So
That's true.
So I'm going to
definitely room to grow.
I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where a veteran-run business is left destitute when equipment is stolen, but people send $15,000 to replace the equipment.
Wow.
When Cody Nichols discovered that someone has stolen several $1,000s worth of equipment from his veteran-run landscaping business, he feared the worst for his employees. The former Marine has started a company called Our Troops Service, so he could hire fellow vets who were having trouble adjusting to civilian life. He and his employees normally work on fences, construction, and lawn care in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But their work came to a halt back in May when someone robbed them of their equipment. The crew tried to fulfill their lawn contract by using push mowers on acres and acres worth of greenery, but they soon fell behind on the work. Little did they know, a non-profit called Soldier's Wish had heard about their predicament and had already started to rally people to assist the small business. Quote, people came out of the woodwork wanting to help, one of the charity workers told the Tulsa World newspaper. Quote, we were able to raise the money to replace everything. Within the weeks of the theft, when Nichols was saying that he was just barely hanging in, the charity surprised him and his workers with $15,000 worth of shiny new equipment. Nichols says, you really saved us. I really thought our company was going to die. So my attaboy goes to the nonprofit called Soldier's Wish for rallying people together and raising $15,000 to help this business called Our Troops Services, because one of the hardest things for our service members, our Army vets, our Navy vets, our Air Force vets, is adjusting to civilian life. And there's a lot of homeless veterans out here. There's veterans with mental issues. And we all talk about respecting our veterans and doing things like that. But when you see someone that is struggling, that served our great country, try to do something to help them. There's organizations here in East Tennessee that do a good job of that. It is sometimes hard to adjust. It's very, very hard. And so really cool story here. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's awesome.
Home of Robert Meacham, right? 865-200-5503. What you got?
Something to talk about here, and I know we have Gerald Harrison coming up at 8, so we might have to make this quick. But some folks noticed, and Copevall6, listener to the show, brought this to my attention. I hadn't noticed it personally yet. J.J. Peterson has a profile on utsports.com. He is listed on the official roster.
Told y'all he's going to be
for Tennessee
here.
Football.
I told you he's going to be good, didn't I?
So is this confirmation that he made it?
Listen, I told you Brett Lawless was going to have some trouble getting in. I told you that J.J. Peterson will be here, but it just won't be at the start of July. He's going to be here. All right.
All right.
Yeah, he's going to be here.
Listed as number 40 on the roster as his jersey number. I don't know if that'll be his final landing spot jersey number wise, but it has all of his accomplishments from high school listed. Has Colquitt County, Moultrie, Georgia, freshman class. So it seems as though they are either assuming he'll be here or he is here. One of the two.
Some of it is okay. got a little inside. Some of it is just kind of common sense here. Do you think Rush Probst and Jeremy Pruitt's going to mess this up? Man, these dudes have been working together for so long. Rush Probst is not here at Tennessee because of the NCAA rule that states if you go and recruit a player at that high school, you cannot bring anyone from that staff. You can't bring the head coach unless he's going to be an on-the-field coach. What Conzo Martin did at Missouri, they don't want that to happen at Ole Miss because Hugh Freeze hired, I think, Shea Patterson's brother or something like that. Mm-hmm. So they want to get away from you hiring family members just to get a recruit. I don't think the NCAA should care. If you want to hire somebody in your organization who is not qualified, that's on you.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
Yeah, that's on you. I guess that's another way of going around and paying somebody. Who cares? If you want to bring in someone in your organization that's a family member of a quarterback or a recruit, and you are not prepared for that situation, so this guy comes in and because, his brother was hired or his daddy was hired, now this kid feels entitled and he messes up the dynamic of the team. If a coach wants to welcome that, that's on him. Let him do it. You still got to maintain that culture. I think it's stupid. I think the rule is stupid that will not allow Rush Probst to be here at Tennessee, because he would be if it was not for the rule. But because of the rule, Rush Probst cannot be here right now in a role that's not on the field. Rush Probst could probably coach circles around everybody on the staff, to be honest, because he's that good. Do you think they're going to allow J.J. Peterson to not be available this year? It's just hard for me to believe. It's very hard for me to believe.
When you phrase it like that, yes.
I mean, it's just
hard to me to allow. I mean, some things could kind of be out of their control. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to get it in their control, but obviously this is a stickier situation, a thicker situation than they thought initially. Or else Rush Probst would be here, and we'd probably see J.J. Peterson go in JUCO.
Well, I mean, the player is more important than Rush.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the player.
And so that's where you gamble.
The player is more important. Hold on, let me think about this. Rush is pretty good. Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, the player is more important than Rush right now because we need players. We need players. All you have to do is allow J.J. Peterson to retake some tests. He already has his ACT taken care of, but you allow him to take some tests over. And is it maybe some special treatment? Well, heck yeah, it is. Who cares, right? I mean, here's a kid that has the opportunity to do something special with his life, and just because he maybe didn't do as great on one test, don't be a butthead as a teacher and not allow him to retake it. Not every student that you have an opportunity to go to the University of Tennessee and get their education paid for and play football at a high level. If you have a guy that's willing to put in the effort, you can throw him a bone. So I actually think this is awesome. Now, I had the same thing happen to me. It wasn't to this extreme, but I had to take a test over. And my science teacher saw something in me. That was really cool. All right, got to go to break. Come back with Gerald Harrison.
By now, you know that Mooyah has the best burgers in Knoxville. Their beef is never frozen, they have all-natural turkey burgers and black bean veggie burgers, not to mention they make their buns in-house every day. But now, you can also get 100% all-beef hot dogs or, wait for it, all-natural chicken sandwiches. Trust me, these chicken sandwiches put chicken restaurants to shame. So stop into Mooyah and taste the difference. Located at 7301 Kingston Pike, right by Better Mattress.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense.
Swain, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swaino, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt.
Are you serious, Coach?
That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
You don't know how excited and proud I am of our guest. Gerald Harrison from South Carolina started off as a student at the University of Tennessee, worked himself to a great position at the University of Tennessee, working with the football program, and literally touched every part of the football program, learning from recruiting to community service, being very instrumental in my recruitment and my development in Tennessee. When he had an opportunity to go and follow Coach Cutcliffe to Duke and expand, his portfolio, he did that, leaving in 2008. And in 10 years at Duke, put himself in a great position to be now the new athletic director at Austin Peay. Gerald Harrison joins us via the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Man, so proud of you. So happy for you, Gerald. Good morning.
Good morning, Jason.
Man, it was just yesterday, Gerald, when I remember this day like it was yesterday, when you told Robert Meacham and myself that you had some opportunities at other schools, that you were not going to leave Tennessee until we graduated there in 2006. And you stayed an extra year in 2007, and then you went to Duke. And I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Funny enough, I remember it as well, and I meant that. And I did have some opportunities at other places, but you guys and the relationships that I had with the student athletes at Tennessee meant a lot to me. And that class that you guys came in, we went through a lot together, and it was great. And when the opportunity came to go with Coach Cutcliffe, it was something I had to do at the time. It was tough, but it was the right thing. And I feel like at the end of the day, 10 years later, I'm a better person now and a better administrator, and looking forward to the opportunity at Austin Peay.
Gerald, you've worked under Coach Fulmer. You've worked under Coach Cut. You've learned a lot from other administrators during your time at Tennessee and Duke. And what can you tell us about the things that you've learned working at Tennessee and Duke that has helped you and prepared you for this opportunity at Austin Peay?
Well, I think, it's funny. Every leader I've had or worked for was a little bit different. I think in and Coach Fulmer, the one thing I learned is that no one circles the wagons. We used to joke like Philip Fulmer. And when times were tough and at their worst, he was as steady as they can be. He was better during the bad times than he was in the good times, and that's hard to say. And but I learned that it was important to be consistent. And no matter what was going on, that we could fix it together. And I took that with me. I am an excitable person, and I can get up and I can get down, but he always stayed the same, and I had to learn. I learned from him that. I learned that from him, I should say. I think with Coach Dickey, even when I was a student, he was mean, say what you mean and mean what you say type guy, and he was tough, and everybody didn't like everything he had to say, but you knew he was telling you the truth. I took that and learned that early. Though now, as from Coach Cutcliffe, I don't think there's a better person, a better planner in America. I think I did an interview in Nashville yesterday, and I think if you ask Coach Cut today how to build a submarine, he probably has a plan somewhere, though never being in the military, because everything is a checklist item. Everything is detailed out. You played for him. You understand that.
Yep.
Everything is done with a purpose and an intensity, and that's what I took from him. I think also he's probably the best family man I know outside of my dad, and knowing that there's a place for sport and work, and there's a place for family. Other than that, Kevin White is the AD at Duke here, who I learned the most from an administrative standpoint. He's the best in the business. He's on the USOC. He's been all over the place. Everybody knows Kevin White if you're in our world. And to learn from him, I'm his 25th, I think, athletics director, 25th person who worked under him in his career to become an athletics director. And he put a lot in us about how to manage and deal with student athletes and understanding the importance of supporting coaches at a level that I haven't seen. I feel like if more ADs would listen to Kevin and how to manage coaches and letting them do their thing, there'd be a lot less coaching changes. I mean, he is really, really good, and I've learned a lot from him.
Gerald, the most interesting thing that I saw in your resume, running through all your accolades here from Duke, obviously you're a football guy, but it seems like you're really big in the fencing community. You're an administrator for the fencing program at Duke, and you're part of the NCAA Fencing Oversight Committee. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, so what happened, I was talking about Kevin and growing people. What he did was when I first got here and got to administration, he said, you need to see how the other side lives. He said, you work with Tennessee at a huge budget place. You got football, which is, a huge budget for us, second to men's basketball, obviously. He said, you need to see how the other half lives. And fencing was the lowest, smallest budget that we had at Duke from an athletic standpoint. And I started working with those guys and those teams, and they were great. And they were awesome to work with, and I wanted to be around them, and that just kept growing. And then the ACC decided to bring fencing back as a conference sport, and I guess I started bossing people around too much and brought the football mentality to the fencing world. And they decided that, well, you like to be in charge, and made me the chairman of the NCAA fencing committee, which is a rarity but an honor, obviously.
Jerry, I'm looking at the timeline here on letsgoaustinp.com. You graduating from Tennessee in communications in 2001, and then being the director of community relations in 2002, working with Judy Jackson, and then 2005, being the director of high school relations. And so you saw that part of the program. You were talking about fencing. I was thinking about all the stories that you may have and remember about your time here at Tennessee when you were working in community relations or the director of high school relations. Tell us a good story, Gerald, that's radio appropriate from your time, from your time there in the early 2000s when you were kind of, I won't say lower man on a totem pole, but you were working your way up inside the football program in Tennessee.
Well, there's some good ones, and you're right. A lot of them I can't tell, but I tell this one often because it's about being humble. And I remember I got a job, and Coach Fulmer hired me. He actually offered me that job before I graduated, And I thought I was special. I had a little bit of money in my pocket, knowing at that point in time it really wasn't a lot. Now that I know what I know, but I had a little bit of money in my pocket, and my desk was outside of Coach Swimmer's office at first. And he said he came out and said he had his credit card in his hand, and he had a bag, and he said, "Hey, I want you to go, get some gas and do some stuff like this." And I'm thinking I've passed that point, where I got to run those type errands because I got a desk and a nameplate.
Right.
I felt like I was important. But he comes out with the card and whatever, and so I said, okay. And I go do it, of course, because he looks you those eyes. You just do whatever he tells you to do. And I get in the car, and he said, "There's a bag in the back seat. I need you to return it to men's warehouse." It was Men a Measure at the time, down there on Kingston Pike. And I said, okay. And I go, and I don't think about it. I'm on campus. And this is going to sound really bad, but I'm in this Lexus, Jason. You remember the Lexus that I used to drive? And I got the windows down. I changed the radio station. I'm riding by the library because, that's where all the girls were and everybody. And I'm riding around down, and I feel like I've arrived a little bit here, even though I'm running an errand in some other man's car. And I get to the Men a Measure, and I grab the bag out the back seat. And I go in the store, and the guy who owned it was named Jack. I can't remember his last name right now. And I gave it to Jack. He said, I said, "Coach wanted me to return these." And he said, okay. And he pulls out the bag, and it's a bag of underwear. And apparently it was the wrong size or something. And I was like, this is the most humbling thing I think I've ever done. I just had to exchange a man's underwear. So Coach is gonna kill me for that. But that was it was one of those things. But but at the end of the day, though, things like that, stories like that, I think make me the administrator that I am, and I don't forget. Regardless of the things I've done at Duke and the accomplishments and the things I've done, I never forget little things like that because it made me a better person. Because you realize that there's no point in time when you are and you're better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was the Lord's way of teaching me a lesson for trying to impress those people in front of Hodges Library.
Gerald Harrison here on the Swain event, new athletic director at Austin Peay. You officially start, I think I saw where it said August the 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, yeah.
I want to know like your style. I'm pretty sure all the head coaches there at Austin Peay is kind of like, okay, let me make sure that I put my best foot forward, and I have a new boss, and the whole adage is, AD wants to bring in their own coaches and own people and stuff like that. What's going to be your style, and what are you going to convey to all your head coaches when you talk to them?
That's a great question, and my style is one of open communication. I really believe in that. One of the things I always say, and I say it here, championship communication for championship trophies. And I believe, like, if you don't communicate at the administrative level and with your coaches and the coaches to the student athletes and so on, you can't win. You have a poisonous environment. So championship communication for championship trophies. The other part of it is we have to create standards. I don't believe in a lot of rules. I believe in standards. Like we're going to have a certain way our offices are going to look. We're going to when we bring donors and recruits in. I want a recruit to be able to come into the whole house, not just the front room. I want, and I expect that from all of our team at Austin Peay. I think one of the things Coach Cutt used to always say, and I'm going to adopt it from him, is you got to use the man law. Be where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing. How you're supposed to be doing it to the best of your ability with a hell of a lot of energy. And that's the way I've kind of led the departments that I have here. And that's the way I'll be doing it at Austin Peay. And one thing I am is I told them they'll get tired of seeing me. I believe in supporting, from our boss here, Kevin White. Kevin goes to everything until he's dead tired, and he's 65. So I'm 38. So I figure like I got to match that energy. Yeah. And so I'm going to be in Athens between the hedges when the governors take the field, and I'm going to see a bunch of basketball and soccer and everything else to support our 350 student athletes. Because if you don't support the student athletes, then why are you doing it? And I think you've been around me, Jason, to know that I care about our kids.
Yeah. And
I've always have, and that's the hardest part today. I just finished a workout, went through women's basketball practice, and they all ran over to me, and I was like, it is because that I care about kids, that they care about me. And that's what I want. I want our staff to feel the same way about our student athletes, and our student athletes to feel the same way about our staff.
Make this promise for me, Gerald. So when I start wearing Austin Peay gear around here in Knoxville, because if you don't wear no orange around here, people question you. You know how it is. So when I start wearing,
I do understand that.
Yeah, when I start wearing Austin Peay is red, and people get triggered when they see that red color. They might think it's Georgia, Alabama. So when I start wearing Austin Peay, because I'm supporting you at Austin Peay, can I give folks your number if they gonna complain about me wearing Austin Peay colors?
I would give them a number if I knew it.
Okay.
But yeah, you get no, absolutely. We will get you. I will make sure you and the entire Swain family has the Under Armour Let's Go Pee T-shirts and what have you available.
I'm definitely going to need
support
that.
Support us as well.
That's right, man.
That's we're. I'm excited. Jason, I don't know if you can tell in my voice, but I am genuinely excited and full of energy. I have not slept in 4 days since my interview. I'm going to crash at some point in time. I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Let me ask you this, man. Kind of more on a serious, personal note here. I met your father. I know your father. I went to school with your sister, and my wife worked in Tennessee football program, so you know my wife very, very well, Gerald. All one big family. Your dad was a high school football coach. Your sister, coaches and deals with people. How proud is your dad of you, and how does it feel for you knowing that that your dad is very, very proud of you and everything he taught you growing up, that you've put into action and you've accomplished something big for your family?
That's you try to get me like that outside the lines thing. Like I want to tear up, but no, he's extremely proud, and my mom's proud, and Jaren is excited. I was fortunate to come up in a home where education and athletics always met. My mom was a school superintendent until she recently retired. My dad's got 45 years of coaching in. So I've always had the marriage between athletics and academics. And Jaren's a championship, high school girls basketball coach. They're all excited. I mean, my mom is looking so forward to the 30th. I think she's ordered 3 different outfits with red in it to wear to the press conference on the 30th. And my dad is a typical football coach. He's excited. You can hear it, but he's not going to overplay his hand. It's like you got and he's definitely reminded me that I came from Darlington, South Carolina, and I need to never forget that part of it. But I am so excited just to have that Harrison name. I think sometimes it gets lost, and I know you explain this to your kids. The name on the back means so much that every action you do is a part of that, and you try to represent that. And I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but anytime I can represent the Harrison name, I do so. I'm extremely humbled by that.
The Tennessee family, the Swain family, everyone that knows Gerald Harrison is so happy for you, so proud of you. We are all Govs now. Maybe we can schedule a home and home, man, between Austin Peay and Tennessee.
Well, here's the thing.
Put a little money in y'all's pocket.
I know the AD who's sitting over there on that corner of Lake Loudon Boulevard and Philip Fulmer Way.
Yeah.
And don't feel like I won't call him and say, instead of playing some of these other people, if you're going to play an FCS program, we'll come to Knoxville.
Exactly.
And don't try to penny pinch me. I got to refinish a floor and do some other things at Austin Peay. So
that's right.
And I'm calling Rick Barnes too.
Let's do it.
We'll make it work. But no, we're excited. And it'll be. Do you realize the joy in my heart to be able to lead an athletics department in the Neyland Stadium?
I feel it.
And walk out on that. I would not know what to do. So maybe we can get that done. My football coach is probably calling me on the other line going, "Are you lost your mind?"
Yeah. hey, you want to schedule them as soon as possible before Jeremy Pruitt starts putting together these recruiting classes and getting things together.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. As a VFL, I am very excited about what's going on and on Rocky Top. The energy, I've been watching those little team videos that they've been sending out.
Yeah.
And, I know Chris Rump. Chris Rump, the defensive line coach, his son plays for us here at Duke.
Oh.
And my dad gave Chris Rump his first coaching job at Darlington High School. And so I know him. I know him very well and that family. And I've been watching all those videos. Listen. I'm ready. You know, the only thing I'm going to miss Charlotte. We had a big plan, Jason.
Yeah.
You know, we played on Friday. Art Duke is playing Army on Friday.
Yeah.
Wes Pickle and a group of us, all the Tennessee people here, we're going to get a bus and we're driving to Charlotte for the game on Saturday. So I'm going to miss that, but I will be watching at 3:30 from wherever I am. And we play at 3:30, I guess. Between the hedges.
Yeah.
Somebody in red and black is going to win.
Yeah, somebody. Hey, hopefully it's Austin P, man. Hopefully it is. Well, Jared, I want to get details, man. To August the 30th, I think you said is when the ceremony. I know it's on a Thursday.
No, July 30th.
July 30th. July 30th.
Yeah, July 30th.
Okay, well let me go back and look at the calendar. July 30th is a Monday, and so man, we might have to hop in the car, man, get to Clarksville. That's a huge moment, man. That's a huge moment.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun that day, and if you can make it, I'll be glad for it. But I'm sure it's available on letsgop.com, as I plugged there.
That's right.
And I'll get to, now I can get back to Knoxville a little bit more, and I just look forward to seeing. I haven't seen your kids in a while, so I got to see the weeds grow.
They're grown, man. They think they are.
I see the pictures.
Yeah.
I see the pictures online. I got to see it.
Yeah, they think they grown. Gerald, man, so happy for you, and you can just tell the excitement in your voice and the excitement in your heart. I know you're going to do a great job at Austin P. I'm looking forward to seeing you, and thank you so much for joining the show. A little different than old 2003 when I was a freshman and you were just working in high school relations, man. It's cool to fast forward here 2018 and you are now the athletic director at Austin P. And here I am doing a radio show inside my house.
Well, here's the deal. I don't have to worry about. Now, back then I used to have to find out what Jason Swain's favorite food was to make sure we had it for his official visit. Now I got somebody else who can do that.
That is true. That is true, my friend. I remember that day. I'll never forget it. Hey, Gerald, man, we love you. We love you,
All
man.
right, buddy. Love you too, guys.
Proud of you. Gerald Harrison, Austin P., athletic director. So happy for Gerald. And you could just tell during that conversation, man, we family. We family.
He was beaming, and I can tell how proud you are of him, and I think that's really cool. I will say I looked it up. The last time Tennessee played Austin P was in 2013, Butch's first year. It was a close game, a 45-0 win for Tennessee. But Austin P has since gotten a whole lot better, actually. It was kind of a big story last year because their football team, I believe, didn't they go through a few years of just –
They were bad.
Yeah, like they didn't win.
They didn't win a game a couple years
at
ago.
all. Yeah, 0-11 the year before in 2016. This 2017 season, 8-4.
Yeah.
So he's coming in at a good time in terms of their football program. So
Yeah.
get them to Neyland Stadium.
So happy for Gerald. And if you're a Tennessee fan, you got to be happy about the folks who started their careers at Tennessee, developed, and now take advantage of opportunities at other schools. You look at Scott Carter there at ETSU, bringing in Randy Sanders. We have several folks who are bleeding orange, but they are doing great things at other programs. And Gerald is the next one that will be leading his own program there at Austin P. So I don't want to hear it. If y'all see me wearing Austin P gear, I don't want to hear it because I'm supporting my boy.
Just to add on to how significant that football season was, they won one game in the previous 5 years and then won 8 games last year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a little note about Austin P there.
That is, man.
That's
that
incredible.
is. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can. Because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. ATFCU.com is the website. Thanks to Gerald for joining the show this morning. So happy for him. Yesterday, it was reported that Tennessee had a player that was arrested Sunday night. And he was immediately suspended by first-year coach Jeremy Pruitt. The second-year defensive lineman was charged with domestic assault and false imprisonment of his girlfriend. According to online court documents, Thaxton is accused of pushing his girlfriend towards his room, where she refused to accompany him to his dorm. And then Thaxton then carried her inside the dorm room, where an argument took place. He blocked the door when she attempted to leave, according to records. Touchdown Turnover that Ryan Thaxton will be a part of the 2018 football team. Not a fun touchdown turnover, but this is a serious oh, sorry, not now, sir. I didn't even ask you for this, sir. I don't know why you even butting into my conversation.
Ask Siri the touchdown turnover.
Yeah, I didn't even push the button. Siri's just being nosy. Domestic violence is serious, and there's more of a heightened awareness. It shouldn't be. It should have already been that. But there's more of a heightened awareness, the pro level, the college level. We saw years ago where Joe Mixon hit a female. They were not together, but he still hit a female in public and was suspended, was able to return to the Oklahoma Sooners. And a lot of people had strong feelings about that, rightfully so. And here's Ryan Thaxton. And quite honestly, I didn't even know who he was at first. He was a player that was brought in last year in June. He was a player that had offers coming out of high school, but looks like he did a blue shirt or something like that, and earned a scholarship a little bit later. But I honestly was unaware of him being on the team because he just hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, hasn't played a snap.
Yeah, and so I was honestly I didn't know who he was, but this is a very serious situation. Now, I will say this before I let you guys answer the question. We saw that Reuben Foster was accused of domestic violence, and it was all made up by the girlfriend. So you really have to wait and see and wait until all the facts are put on the table before making a judgment. But I'm going to ask you guys anyways. Do you think he's a part of this football team 2018? Touchdown turnover.
That's a tough one.
It is tough. That's why I asked it.
What really sucks about it is I think because in some sense it will come down to the fact that at this point he's not really a contributor to the team. Because you actually had a very similar situation a couple years ago with Alexis Johnson, who came in highly touted, 4-star JUCO, I believe, came in.
Mm-hmm.
He came in with a decent amount of hype. And was charged with aggravated assault and false imprisonment for from the sound of it, obviously it was not at either of these incidents, but from the sound of it, a very similar situation where girlfriend wanted to leave, dude wasn't letting her, and so she called the police, and it became an ordeal. Alexis Johnson is still on his football team, and they're looking to him to be a contributor in the coming season. Ryan Thaxton, like you said, just kind of a non-factor for this squad right now. And while I think in the long run of Ryan Thaxton's life, if he conducts himself well after this is really just a blip. I don't think this is going to be big for him legally. He's not going to serve major jail time. He's not, it's not going to be a big deal if everything comes through and he's convicted and it all comes to fruition that way. But this is not good. He is not a contributor, and I'm gonna say he doesn't. I think he's gone. I think his time at Tennessee is over, and that sucks. You just don't put yourself in these positions, and touching women is in a way that they don't want to be touched is not something you should ever do.
Let me make sure that we say this. If you are guilty of domestic violence and everything that is said about Thaxton that he's being accused of, if it's true, it shouldn't matter if you are a contributor or if you're not.
Correct.
In my opinion,
absolutely.
In my opinion, you got to go. If everything that is said about what happened, if that's actually happened, you got to go.
And I should have clarified.
Yeah.
Alexis Johnson's charges were dropped.
Yes.
And that was also
convicted of nothing.
That was also under a previous staff with a desperate need at defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Who is willing to maybe let some things slide that this staff will not.
Well,
taking risks that this staff will not.
Well, let me speak on that too. I thought the previous staff did a good job of when someone got in trouble, you suspended him. The only thing I didn't like is how Trayvon Polk was kind of like hid behind the scenes to see, okay, let's see if we can, reinstate him. Let's see, if we can possibly let this die down and then bring him back. No, what Trayvon Polk did, he had to go, and he was a 3-star, highly rated player from Georgia coming in at running back. And there was no way you could slide Trayvon Polk by what happened. I mean, he had to go. And so I thought the previous staff did a really good job of, okay, you got in trouble, boom, here's the punishment, not going to play around with that stuff. I would give previous staff credit there, which is why I always defended Tennessee when people were trying to compare Tennessee to Baylor about the culture that Baylor had. People were trying to throw in Tennessee in there simply because of the Title IX accusations that took place. And so I defended Butch Jones and the culture that that he had. It wasn't a good culture as far as winning football games and in the locker room, but as far as treating ladies with respect and the speakers that they brought in and not being very tolerant of that type of behavior, I thought Bush Jones and company did a really good job.
I understand that. I just stated it was under the previous staff because
yeah,
that was part of his argument.
It was.
And this is the first time Pruitt and company are going through
It was
this.
under the previous staff, but I just wanted to make sure we clarify that the previous staff did a good job in that area. Now, this is
for what the general public knows.
Yeah, this is the first arrest that Pruitt has to deal with. History has told us that if you are a good football player, that you're going to be given more slack than someone who is not, someone who is not a contributor. Fair or not, that is what has happened years and years and years. There are certain things that you don't play with. I'm sorry, you don't play with. You don't care if he's a contributor or not. I think domestic violence is that. You don't play with that.
It's it's a career ender.
I mean, you want to talk about weed?
Stay off the weed.
You want to talk about that? Okay, we can give you a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance if you want to do that on weed. If you want to do that, that's fine. That's different programs have different rules there. But when it comes to domestic violence, if you get down to the truth and you find out and you brush through the he said, she said, and you find out exactly what happened, and you find the truth, and the truth is that one of your players put their hands on a female, you got to go. I mean, to me, you just got to go. Now, touchdown turnovers, do I think he's going to be a part of this football team? I don't think he's going to be, because I'm looking at Jeremy Pruitt, and I'm looking at a coach who's in his first year. He does not allow guys to wear hats, earrings in the building. He is changing the culture. He's going to have to set an example.
And this is his first opportunity when it comes to arrest, especially with a player that he didn't bring in, he didn't recruit, to set the tone, set an example.
Yeah.
And it falls under the category of no nonsense.
Yep.
Even though we do not know all the facts right now, and even though all of these charges could be dropped, if I'm Jeremy Pruitt, that's my thought process right now.
Yeah.
Not knowing every bit of the fact.
If guilty, he's gone.
Yes.
It could be, hey, girl's mad about something and goes overboard. I mean, that could happen. We could have the Ruben Foster situation. But if he's guilty, he's gone. And so that's why I'm saying touchdown. This is the worst time to get yourself in trouble. Right before SEC Media Days. I don't care if you're a walk-on, contributor. I don't care. This is the absolute worst time to be a distraction and to be asked about what's going on inside your program if you're Tennessee. You do not want to get in trouble before a big game, and you do not want to get in trouble before your first-year head coach is going to address the entire nation during SEC Media Days. You just avoided a distraction by not sending Garantano or sending Trey Smith. You had the perfect three people there that's going to do a good job, that's not going to create any bulletin board material, that's going to represent Tennessee with class. And now you have a player that's arrested that has not done anything for you. And it is the most hot-button topic in sports when it comes to discipline and behavior is how we treat women. Our mothers, our sisters, our daughters. Women are very, very important part of our life. And coaches all the time. I know my coach, Coach Foreman, used to always talk to us about respecting females, 3 daughters of his own. This is going to be Pruitt's first test. I think
what you just mentioned is the tipping point.
Yeah.
If he was on the fence, trying to put myself inside Pruitt's head, if he was on a fence about a decision, the timing of this right before SEC Media Days is not working in Ryan Thaxton's favor.
Horrible. Whether or not he's innocent or guilty, okay, whether or not he's innocent or guilty. Because some people don't understand that even if he's innocent, you can still get onto this player. You have to be careful about situations you put yourself in, regardless of if you're going to be innocent or guilty. You want an example? How about A.J. Johnson? The trial has just started 4 years later. A.J. may be innocent. He may be guilty. But let's say he's innocent. He doesn't get those 4 years back. He doesn't get those games he missed back. You have to be careful about the situations you put yourself in, regardless of if you're guilty or if you're doing anything wrong or not. You have to be careful at all times. You are a Tennessee football player. You have to de-escalate an argument if you can. You have to remove yourself from a situation if you can. Regardless of you innocent or guilty, you got to get out of there. And so what I hope is that the 100% truth is revealed and is found out. And that if what happened, if what Ryan is accused of happened, then he needs to be disciplined accordingly. And if that did not happen, then I hope that all of this is erased, that when you search his name on Google, nothing pops up, that he gets a clean start, because one thing that haunts Von Pearson is that he was accused. Von Pearson was so affected by simply being accused. And I hope that an accusation does not ruin a young man's life. So let's find the truth and let's go from there. But if guilty, I don't think Thaxton is on the football team in 2018. That's just my personal opinion. We'll take a break and come back, go to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, go to the text box, go to Facebook Live. We got For What around the corner. We will talk to David Ubin there at the Athletic. He spending some time there in Rainsville, Alabama, Pruitt's hometown. He's writing a 3-part series, really in depth, and so we're going to bring on David to talk a little bit about that. Swain event. Be right back.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store, with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Fellas, when it comes to your health and quality of life, knowing your numbers is essential. Low testosterone can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain and lose muscle mass. At Low T Center, they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. Treatment is even covered by most health insurance with results in about 20 minutes. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Pass downfield is complete. That's Swain. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown.
Swain event, welcome back. 865-250-503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's go to the phones. Let's bring in my man T-Carp. T-Carp, good morning.
Hey, Hey, Jason, I hope everybody is doing well this morning. I wanted to really kind of echo what you said, but I want to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
I mean, really, what if this guy is innocent?
Yeah.
Like, and when I mean innocent, I mean 100% innocent.
Yeah.
She got mad, and this person just went off, called the cops, did everything. But you kind of answered that in saying you've got to not put yourself in these situations at all. I mean, but I go back and forth on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, could he just have walked out? Could he have done so many other different things? I just don't like that he's suspended from all team activities. Now, if the internal investigation says he didn't do anything, then let him back on the team, I guess. I don't like the sweeping, he's guilty until proven innocent part of it. But I understand in this generation, in this time right now, and this such a hot button topic, that you can't just be like, well, let's wait and see. I dislike the whole situation.
Well, T-Cop, we were taking it from the angle of Coach Pruitt. How would he handle it as a first-time head coach heading into SEC media days? You have to err on the side of caution, not necessarily saying he's guilty before proven innocent, but you have to be very cautious heading into that scene, that scenario, if you're Coach Pruitt, in our opinion. That was the angle we were taking there.
And looking at it like that, I think he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, he's you know, the guy put him in a horrible situation. He's got to do that. He just has to. But then he's got to kind of follow the template all the way through. So that's my opinion on that. Really quick, just wanted to hit one more topic. Looking at it, I think Jarrett Guarantano and Ty Chandler will both be second string to London and to Chris. Just watching some tape, again, seeing highlights. I'm watching highlights of London and Chris versus top-tier teams. I'm talking Michigan, some Pac-12 teams, just Oregon, all these other teams. And then I see Ty Chandler's, and it's against, some kind of crap, lower-level SEC team, maybe Kentucky or whatnot. And same thing with Guarantano. I honestly think those two are going to be your starters, is Kristen London, and then Ty Chandler is going to be your second-string running back, and Guarantano is going to either redshirt or transfer, unfortunately. Wanted to see what you all thought about that, and I'm out.
Hey, thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, T-Carp. Thanks for the phone call. By suspending Ryan Thaxton while doing your investigation, if anybody there for some reason wants to ask Jeremy Pruitt about Ryan Thaxton, I mean, everyone in the room would know, like, okay, you're asking this coach only because this guy got arrested. You're trying to get a good response from Pruitt. You're trying to test Pruitt. I mean, why else would you be asking Pruitt about a player who has not done anything at Tennessee? But let's say someone asks Pruitt about this arrest. Because Thaxton is suspended, Pruitt's answer is really easy. He's suspended, we will investigate, and go from there. If you allow him to continue with team activities and you ask that, now you are putting yourself maybe in a tough situation if you're Jeremy Pruitt and if you're Tennessee. If he's asked that question and Thaxton's suspended, again, he's suspended, we'll conduct their investigation, and then we'll move forward from there.
I have no other comment at this time.
The answer is really, really quick, really simple. You nip it in the bud. You don't have to, talk about anything else. Remember when Paul Feinbaum and Nick Saban got into it on the set at SEC Media Days in Birmingham? It was over Cam Robinson and those kids being arrested there in Louisiana. And it became a mess because it wasn't like Nick Saban nipped things in the butt. Nick Saban was trying to get these guys back on the field.
Got emotional on television.
Yeah, I mean, it was an argument. Paul Feinbaum was doing nothing but his job was asking about two significant players on Alabama's team that got in trouble. And so I understand why Ryan was suspended. You're suspended because you put yourself in that situation. Regardless of you innocent or guilty, if you're innocent, okay, you'll be back on the team. But you are suspended
because you put yourself in this position. You could have removed yourself from that environment. I've been there as a college football player where I've had a female very upset. And you know the person that I called during that whole entire scene? I called Gerald Harrison. Our last guest, the new athletic director at Austin Peay. I had a female very upset and was throwing stuff. And I was very calm while doing my best Matrix impression, dodging things. And I simply went outside. I called Gerald. I let him know what was going on. He told me what to do. Problem solved. It did not escalate. It did not. I didn't block the girl from leaving. I didn't retaliate. I removed myself from the situation. I called Gerald Harrison. I said, Gerald, this is what's going on. What do I need to do? He let me know what I needed to do. That was it. That was it. As a football player, I know for a fact that you are put in a team environment and you have coaches, you have support staff, you have guests that come in and talk to you about what to do when you're put in a situation. They're told what to do. But what happens is you don't think that you're going to be put in that situation. You don't think it's ever going to happen to you. And then, boom, in a split second, whoa, you are in that same situation that you were told about, that you were given advice on what to do. And you have to not let your emotions get the best of you. You got to think and just remove yourself from the situation. Now, going to the Garantano, Caleb Christ, Ty Chandler, Mondre London conversation, this is what I think. Everybody's going to play. All four of those guys are going to play. Jared's going to play. Chris is going to play. Unless the first quarterback who gets the snap against West Virginia lights the world on fire. If you are the first quarterback against West Virginia and you go down and you score a touchdown on the first possession, and then you go down and you score another touchdown on the second possession, and the team is playing lights out, defense is making stops.
I better not see both quarterbacks.
And then, you are torching West Virginia, you will see one quarterback because you don't move from a hot hand. Now, if you do see two quarterbacks, it's because, okay, we're up 3 touchdowns. Let's give this guy a series. And if he bombs out and the defense makes a stop, okay, you give him a second. But if he bombs out and West Virginia scores, okay, maybe we're going back to the first quarterback. It just depends.
I mean, I want to see both quarterbacks by the end of the who does Tennessee play week 2? ETSU? Or I don't know. I'd have to look. Whoever it is. It's a laugher, or is supposed to be. And so I hope that we've seen both quarterbacks by that point in some sense. ETSU in week 2. So I hope by halftime we're seeing the second. By halftime of that game, we're seeing the second quarterback.
Yeah, you should. If you're playing ETSU and UTEP, both quarterbacks should be playing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But this quarterback situation is so fluid. It just really depends on how well the guy who's getting his first snaps, because somebody has to start. It could be a tie, straight down the middle. Only one quarterback can start against West Virginia. But I think both quarterbacks will play throughout the season. And Ty Chandler knows what's going on. He knows that this coaching staff prefer bigger backs. And I'm telling you right now, he was the best back in the spring, and it wasn't even close. Ty Chandler was wrecking stuff, and he is your home run hitter. He can make guys miss. You may have a plan for Mondre London, but if Ty Chandler is playing at a high level, it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. The great thing about the running back position, you can play 2 or 3, 4 guys. You can. So everyone's going to play. Starting, yeah, it's important to have your name on the Jumbotron and, all that good stuff because you work because you want to start. Don't ever listen to Bush Jones talking about how starting don't matter. What silly quote did he say about starting? It was so dumb.
He just always said starters get the first rep.
Co-starters, three star. It was three.
Like,
It was something stupid. Downplaying the importance of starting. So why are we working hard if I ain't trying to start? I'm trying to start and finish. If I'm a player, I want to start and I want to finish. I don't want to miss a play. I'm competing. Starting is a part of competition. You want to start. But let's also understand that finishing is equally as important as starting. So all four of those guys will play, T-Carp. But I really appreciate the phone call. It was good.
Yeah, good to hear from T-Carp.
Yeah, it was always good to hear from T-Carp. T-Carp is, T-Carp's awesome, man. I like Mr. T-Carp. Father of a daughter. Mm-hmm. And I know that he can maybe identify a little bit when guys get in trouble concerning domestic violence, because now you go from a single man to a married man, and now you are a father of a daughter. Your whole perspective changes. It really does.
I can imagine. I just didn't want the narrative out there, or the thought out there, the perception to exist that we were labeling Thaxton guilty until proven innocent. By no means were we trying to do that. We were taking the position.
These are accusations.
And how you approach it with the timing of SEC media days being right square ahead of you.
You're suspended because you put yourself in a situation.
Yes.
You're not suspended because you're guilty. You're suspended because you put yourself in a situation, and we're going to investigate to see if you can come back. Tennessee has been really good with that, dating back to the Butch Jones time. This is Pruitt's first test. Let's Hub City dropped off. Give us a call back, Hub City. We're about to take a break at the top of the hour, too. And then we will have David Ubben on from The Athletic talking about his time there in Rainsville, Alabama.
Rainsville.
I'm excited to hear what he has to say. That series of articles is, well, it's only one part of it is out right now, but it should be really interesting.
Yeah, looking forward.
Read the first part yesterday. It's great.
Yeah, looking forward to speaking with David, because that's Bama territory, and their first son, Pruitt, is coaching the rival. It's awkward for all of us. Let's just be honest here. I'm still trying to get used to it. I'll be honest. I don't like Alabama. I don't. And this has all been new to me. A lot of folks from Alabama are here, and at the end of the day, I want Tennessee to win. And I know that our players, our coaches, they have a job to do. And it doesn't matter where they came from or where they play, they are professionals, and they want to be the best at what they're doing. It doesn't matter where they went to school. So that's how I view the situation. But there's a lot of Alabama fans out there, a lot of Durham Pruitt fans that, they got a dilemma there. Root for your team or root for Pruitt? Hour 3 is around the corner. Hour 3 powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Be right back.
Showers and thunderstorms are likely today, mostly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low around 68. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high near 88 and a low around 67. Thursday also looks to be mostly sunny with a high in the upper 80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, That's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. And we are joined by Swain event caller veteran now, because this is the second time, so now he's a veteran. David Ubben of The Athletic, who spent some time in Rainsville, Alabama, the hometown of Jeremy Pruitt, and he's doing a very, very in-depth piece on Pruitt and him coming from Bama country up here to coach the Tennessee Volunteers and resurrect this football program. Can't wait to read the entire series on your work there in Rainsville, Alabama. David, good morning, man. Thanks for joining the show.
Morning, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
The idea, where did the idea come from? Because let's be honest, not many people are sitting around saying, you know what, guys, let's go to Alabama and hang out. I mean, listen, I'm from Alabama. Yeah, I don't hear that much. So just share a little bit about the concept, the idea to go down and kind of see where Jeremy Pruitt, where he came from, and talk to some of the people that basically saw Pruitt grow up as the son of a high school coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, Jeremy's a pretty private person. He's not going to volunteer a lot of information. Obviously, Tennessee fans and media have seen that. And so I think as part of that, it's hard to get to know who he is and sort of what, Tennessee fans would want to know about him, because Tennessee fans want to know everything. And so it seemed to me a natural place to start would be Rainsville, and I went down there and spent about a week there and learned a lot. I think, you talk to people around him, and certainly, they're not like Jeremy. They're going to volunteer information and talk about, where he came from and what he was like and sort of his road to Tennessee. But you're right. When I sat down with Jeremy last week to sort of talk about some of this stuff, the first question he had for me is, so you really spent a week in Rainsville, Alabama?
Even he was surprised.
Yeah, he was. But we're really happy with it. He agreed at The Athletic.
It had little phone issues there at the beginning. So I don't know if the Bluetooth or whatever. If something is wrong, then we can call you back. But I don't know what's kind of going on there, Dave. But we'll just keep going if it sounds okay.
Gotcha. Sounds good on my end.
Okay.
That sounds better.
You sound
Yeah,
great
whatever you
now.
just
Okay.
did.
Awesome. So, where in the hell is Rainsville, Alabama, David? I mean, how do you get there? How long is it from Knoxville?
Yeah, so it's about 3 hours. It's not actually too far. You know, I think his dad told me that his house in Tuscaloosa and his house in Knoxville, the difference is like 8 minutes.
Okay.
So it's about the same. But I mean, you head down to Chattanooga, go down Highway 59, and then it's about 8 or 9 miles up a mountain, and you hit a plateau, and there's Rainsville, basically. And that's you can see obviously the high school is on the edge of town. There's only a handful of stoplights there. I think really only one main intersection, and that's the town.
How are the Bama people down there who are, I mean, diehard Bama fans, but they love the Pruitts? How are they dealing with Pruitt leading the Tennessee Volunteer football program?
I mean, they're conflicted. I think that's there's certainly some people who are not pleased about it. I would say they're angry. I think just they've spent so much time sort of unitedly rooting for Jeremy Pruitt. You know, one of his childhood friends said, obviously I'm a huge Bama fan and I love those national titles, but I'm telling you, they meant a lot more. Seeing our boy on the staff and seeing that really made them mean a lot more. And so, yeah, that third Saturday in October, there's going to be a lot of conflicted folks in Rainsville. But I think the biggest thing, even Jeremy said, they had a big Jeremy Pruitt Day in Rainsville this spring, and he told me there's hundreds of thousands, hundreds, maybe I don't know, it was maybe like 1,000 some people out there, and there was a lot of orange. And Jeremy said, I didn't know there were that many Tennessee fans in Rainsville, and there aren't, but there's a lot of Jeremy Pruitt fans and a lot of folks that want to see him succeed, even if they got to cheer for a team that they've hated for a long time.
Well, David, obviously Jeremy Pruitt is going to be at SEC Media Days tomorrow. You're there. You're going to be there following him around. What are some of the subjects that you think are going to be brought up when he gets asked questions tomorrow?
I mean, I think all of the big picture stuff. I mean, how he wants to run his program. I think what he wants the offense to look like. How far he feels like Tennessee is from competing. I think those are the things that are going to come up. But I'm really intrigued to see how he sort of handles the spotlight. If we see a different side of him a little bit, I suspect that we will not. I think there's really only one Jeremy Pruitt. But certainly I think if it were up to him. I think he knows how important it is to promote the program and do that kind of stuff. But this is it's not going to be his scene, and so seeing how he sort of handles the spotlight of doing that in his first time as a head coach and first time down at media days will be pretty interesting.
Do you think that he will talk about individual players? He, in almost a sense, he has to. He's bringing 3 individual guys down there, but he hasn't talked about anyone individually so far, almost at all. Do you think he will?
I do not. If I was a betting man, let's put it plus 175 that he talks about an individual player tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I may take that.
I don't see that happening.
I feel like he's going to field a lot of questions about Trey Smith.
I feel the same. So.
Yeah.
Pruitt is getting used to being a head coach and fulfilling media requests. You sat down with him. How do you think he's going to fare tomorrow? I mean, this schedule is packed full of back-to-back interviews for Jeremy Pruitt. You sat down with him. How do you think he's going to fare?
I don't think he's going to like it. He's going to like it. It's not his kind of thing. I think he wants to coach ball. I think that's one of the things, that sticks out to him about this experience is being a college head coach. There's just so many other responsibilities and so many other hats you've got to wear. And I think tomorrow will be one of the most uncomfortable hats that he's got to wear. But I think he knows it's one he has to put on. But I think you're going to see him be pretty conservative, obviously not offer up a lot of information. I don't think, he's got a pretty good sense of humor, but I don't know how much you're going to see him cracking jokes on stage. I don't know that's sort of his MO, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, we've never really seen him in this sort of position and in this role, especially being part of Saban's staff. You can not be heard from for a long time. And so it'll be interesting to see, in a big room like this and a full day, of interviews, how he handles it and what, if we see him, a little different side of him. But like I said, I don't suspect that's what we're going to see tomorrow. I think we're going to see the same Jeremy Pruitt that Tennessee fans have seen since he got here in January.
David Ubben here on the Swain event, The Athletic. His article there, I would encourage you to go and become a subscriber there at The Athletic, so that way you can read this very in-depth piece about Jeremy Pruitt and kind of where he's from there in Rainsville, Alabama, because it is a article that requires a subscription. I don't want to get you to say too much about the interview and about the article, but I do want to ask you just about some of the other things that really stood out to you in your time in Rainsville, asking people about Jeremy Pruitt.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just he didn't really understand how much his success meant to his hometown. I talked to him a little bit about that, and he really didn't get a sense of that. And that's one of the things that I wanted to reflect in the story, and you can sort of see is just, there's only two people from that town ever that have played for Alabama. There's nobody in that town that's become a head coach. And both of those things, even when he first joined Nick Saban's staff in 2007, when Nick Saban was first coming to Alabama, that meant a ton. Even though he's like the lowest paid guy on staff, he's not even an on-field coach, everyone was just so excited that, hey, our boy Jeremy is going to be part of this like Alabama renaissance. They were so excited and so proud. And in talking to him, I don't know that he ever really got a sense. I mean, obviously he's talked to his family, and it's weird for him going back home and getting asked for autographs and stuff like that. But just like the general consensus in the town and the pride that the town takes in him, I don't know that he really has a sense of. And I think that's one thing I wanted to reflect in the story. And Rainsville's just, it's an interesting place. It's, it's a pretty stereotypical small southern town. And, Jeremy's pretty proud to be from there.
He should be, man. He should be. I think the way he was raised and the way you have to be there in a small town is probably the reason why he's been so successful as an assistant coach. And he's been great at recruiting, and he's been given this opportunity. I saw where Jimbo Fisher had some really good things to say about Pruitt. They worked together at Florida State when they won a championship there in 2013, and he said that Pruitt, was kind of waiting on the right job, that he could have been a head coach before, but he's just waiting on the right job. And so I know you're there at SEC Media Days. What was your opinion when you heard Jimbo Fisher say that?
I mean, he's right. I think around that time, Vandy came knocking on the door, and that was a short conversation. So, yeah, I think definitely he's gotten some calls in the past. It didn't feel like it was the right opportunity. But that opportunity came, and I think certainly, Tennessee was, something that excited him as early as, before last season. I think people could kind of see that coming a little bit. And I think he was talking to people around him and today, don't be surprised if I'm the Tennessee coach, this time next year. Obviously, he's never going to say that publicly, but he had some sense that was going to be a possibility. And obviously, no one could see the coaching search play out like it was, but this was certainly a job that had always intrigued him, and I think he knew his time was coming soon. He was preparing for that. I mean, he's talking to guys, about he kind of had in his mind what his staff was going to look like, before last season. I think he knew it was kind of knocking on the door. And so when that call came and when it happened, I mean, he was pretty prepared. You look at his staff, they're all guys that he's known for decades, almost all of them. And that's kind of what he wanted for this staff, is to have a bunch of guys that he's familiar with. And there's not going to be a lot of yes men on this staff. They're not going to be afraid to disagree with each other. They have some really good and deep relationships on this staff. So, they're going to be a team that's used to working together in some capacity and working with Jeremy and knowing how he operates.
Now, David, probably the most interesting thing from yesterday at Media Days was Commissioner Sankey talking about injury reports as related to the now legalized sports gambling.
Hey, that's availability reports. Availability reports.
Well, that is what it would have to be. So, what is your take on that? Because the whole injury thing is one of the, as someone who reports on the team from my own website, I mean, almost nothing bugs me more than that. So what what was your take on that?
I mean, I think it's just different. College football is obviously a lot more uncomfortable with the idea and the influence and doing anything in their game motivated by gambling. Ultimately, that's what the injury report thing is about. There's no other way to sort of, reason that out. That's what it would be about. And so, regulating information and figuring those things out. And I don't think the coaches care all that much. I think every coach is like, if that's what they're going to do, I'll comply, so-and-so. How much deceit would happen in there? I'm not sure. I think they have to put some actual teeth in the rules that if you don't report an injury or, a guy's not going to, you say a guy's not going to play and he does play, they might have some rules there because I could see coaches fudging with that. But I think I would be surprised if we see it super soon. I mean, certainly not in the next year or two, but it could happen before too long. I think there might have to be an inciting incident, something that, we've kind of seen it over, the last few years, but as more people gamble and sports gambling becomes a wider thing in American society, there might have to be an incident where, a lot of people feel like they got deceived or they got robbed on something. And I think you'd have to have something to produce a little outrage and get a little momentum, because it's sort of at this point just a precautionary measure more than something that, a lot of people are publicly pushing for or a lot of people really want. It just seems like, this is probably a good idea, but there's not anybody really shoving it into happening.
David Ubben here on the Swain event. Last question before we get you out of here, David. You know how when you were growing up and your mom and dad, how they would act when you would have company. So it could be your buddies. It can be, a girl that you decide to bring home. And what do? They whip out the old baby pictures. They whip out the pictures when you had a bowl cut. They whip out the pictures when you had the embarrassing haircut or black eye that you still have to take a picture day that day. They have all the embarrassing moments kind of put in a box, and then they just whip out that box once your friends show up. Did you have that moment with Pruitt and his family when you went down to visit Rainsville, Alabama? Did anybody whip out any old photos of Pruitt that may be embarrassing?
So not particularly.
Okay.
The one thing, the most of the people, actually two of the people that I talked to had actually just moved into houses, and they could not find the great embarrassing photos. However, there's a wing joint in town. If you go see the store, you can see the photo. There's a wing joint in town. If you want to see Jeremy Pruitt, teenage Jeremy Pruitt with a serious, like, marine flat top, you can do that at the story.
Yes, yes. How can we get that story for those that want to read the entire story? How can people do that and follow you from now on?
So our main website is The Athletic, and we actually yesterday announced we're having 19 writers at programs across the country. So our staff is, now well over 20 writers. And obviously Tennessee is one of those, and to celebrate that yesterday, we're offering 40% off. So it's only $3.99 a month. That's basically a cup of coffee. And you can go to theathletic.com to see that, and theathletic.com/CFB expansion to get that promotional code. But if you can go to our Twitter account, there's a lot of promotion there at theathleticCFB. There's plenty of that there, and we would love to have as many subscribers as we can. We're really excited about the fall. Tons of new stuff coming, and the rest of the Jeremy Pruitt series. I wrote about his days as an MTV reality star earlier this week. So I think we're going to end up being about a 6-part series. So
what?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Maybe we got to come back on tomorrow. I'm just saying.
Well, this is what I was hoping for from The Athletic, is more in-depth pieces.
Yeah, this type of stuff.
Not clickbait articles. And this is what The Athletic is known for. I know college football fans will love The Athletic, and Tennessee fans will love your work, as long as we're winning and things are great, right? But this is exactly what I've been wanting to see from The Athletic. And so I'm looking forward to reading the entire series. And really appreciate your time this morning, David.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Look forward to getting back in town.
Hey, thank you. 865-200-5503. I'm looking forward to that article there. I read some of the beginning there, the first part, but I'm looking forward to seeing and reading all of it. It's gonna be fun, man.
Got to read this one about him at MTV, because that two-a-days. I don't want to say that it was a big part of me growing up, but it was certainly something that I watched. It was very much in the zeitgeist, so that's very, very interesting.
So I caught that. David Ubben said that Vanderbilt came calling Jeremy Pruitt when he was at Florida State. He obviously turned that down. Can you imagine that interview? Could you imagine Vanderbilt pitching Jeremy Pruitt, showing them, hey, this is our traditions. We say anchor down here. All right, this is what we do here. All right, we want you to come in. This is what James Franklin has done. And you can come in and kind of, piggyback off what he did.
Bye, Felicia.
And then he whips out the picture of the stadium of Vanderbilt. And Jeremy Pruitt looks at it and says, what is that? What is that? No, I can't come coach at Vanderbilt. What is that? My high school in Rainsville, Alabama is better than that stadium. Jeremy Pruitt turned down Vanderbilt. I caught that from Mr. David. What is that? Anchor down. Anchor down?
Anchor down? What is that?
That's your high school stadium? I mean, that's your college stadium? My goodness. No.
When I think about anchor down, I think about
I'm going to stay at Florida State.
That's
no, thank you.
When you think about anchor down, what?
Do what? Oh, I was just going to say something.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom.
When I think about anchor down, I think about being stuck in one place. All right. What kind of tagline is that? What is that?
I can't wait to hear Jeremy Pruitt talk tomorrow.
It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I hope he loosens up a little bit and talks, because that country accent, and he's so matter of fact. I enjoy. I think it's really, really funny. So, wow. Thanks for the phone call, Dave. Really, really appreciate that, allowing us to interview you for the 15 minutes there. Hour 3 continues after this.
By now, you know that Mooyah has the best burgers in Knoxville. Their beef is never frozen, they have all-natural turkey burgers and black bean veggie burgers, not to mention they make their buns in-house every day. But now, you can also get 100% all-beef hot dogs or, wait for it, all-natural chicken sandwiches. Trust me, these chicken sandwiches put chicken restaurants to shame. So stop into Mooyah and taste the difference. Located at 7301 Kingston Pike, right by Better Mattress.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
With the hot weather and humidity comes mosquitoes and other pests. Let Southeast Termite and Pest Control take care of that problem for you. They offer one-time or package treatments that control biting adults as well as larvae. Southeast Termite and Pest Control has been in business since 1971 and is local and family-owned. They offer free estimates and quotes with no obligations. So don't get bit anymore. Go with the pest control company you can trust. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control at 865-925-3700 or find them online at southeasttermite.com.
Butch Jones replacing Philip Fulmer on the Jumbotron.
For what?
People getting drunk and stumbling into the wrong house.
For what?
Butch saying a chart told him to kick an extra point instead of going for 2.
For what?
People who break the law while breaking the law.
For what?
It is time for what? Where we highlight stupidity all across the world. Charlie, Brad, what do we have today?
I got a for what that popped up just now out of SEC Media Days. I'll do a couple because this one's short. Apparently, Kirby Smart is at the podium currently, and he was asked by a reporter how he is handling the quarterback room situation with his quarterbacks, Jake Fromm, Justin Fields, and Jacob Eason.
Wait, what?
And the problem with that question
Jacob Eason
is that Jacob Eason transferred to Washington in the offseason. Yeah, so that's not good.
See what happened was.
Do your research before asking a question on national television. Ooh. That really sucks because for SEC Media Days, they show it on the SEC Network, and not only that, they show the reporter's face
majority of the
on
time,
TV when they ask a question. So, yikes, that sucks for that guy or girl. I don't know who it was. But just a quick for what there, and then the for what that I had before that came up was this one from Business Insider. Your headline is, people are donating money to Kylie Jenner to help her become the world's youngest billionaire. So I read about this. Apparently, Kylie Jenner at this moment is worth $900 million off of the back of her sister's name. And I think she's launched like clothing lines and makeup and whatever. She posts on Instagram. I think you get paid for that if you're that famous. I don't know.
All this because old Robert.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Helped hide the Gucci bag.
Yes. So in a way, in a roundabout way, she really owes her fame to O.J. Simpson. So she's worth $900 million, and if she became a billionaire soon, she'd be the world's youngest billionaire. And so a comedian started a GoFundMe page that said, let's get Kylie to $1 billion to become a billionaire, and tried to raise $100 million. It's a joke. It's fake. It's not real. If you read the text on it, it's really like dumb, and the person is basically mocking people that love Kylie Jenner. But people actually donated to it. Last time that I looked at it, let's see if I can pull it up here at this very moment. It has collected $1,938 from 146 very gullible idiots.
So stupid. So stupid. I should know this, but Kylie probably got a lot of her help with her success because of her.
She started on third base.
Well, she did, but not because of OJ. More because of.
She's good looking?
No, she's a Jenner. So.
Yeah.
It's dad, mom, dad. I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know how to say
Caitlyn.
this.
Yes, Kate. Yeah, you can just.
Because of Caitlyn.
Say her name.
I'm really trying not to offend anybody here.
Really
You're saying because of Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But.
That's what her dad's name is.
I understand
because
that.
of her father. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Who is now Caitlyn.
Yes. So, he is the Olympian. He was on the Wheaties box, and then, he got married to Kardashian, to Kris, and then they had Kylie. So it was a combination of the Jenners and the Kardashians, which allowed her to be born on third base. Really stupid. She doesn't need any help to be a billionaire. She's going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And hey, I don't fault anybody for being born on third base, because what are we doing as parents? We're trying to help our kids be born on a base better than the base we were born on ourselves.
And I gotta give
on the
her,
bench.
I got it.
Yeah,
I'll give her credit, because you can be born on third base and be a total bum, or you can do what she's done and take total advantage of it and almost become a billionaire. So there are two sides to that coin. Even though she was very, very privileged growing up, she still had to capitalize.
This is what I respect. Somebody put the work in. Somebody put the work in
somewhere.
For her to have the success. Someone did it. It wasn't like she won the lottery. Somebody put the work in, and it was Caitlyn. It was Robert Kardashian that passed away. That was a lawyer for O.J. Simpson. Somebody put the work in. Now, what you do with that privilege, I think matters. I use an example that may hit home here. Remember when Tyler Summer got in trouble at La Tech? It disappointed me so much, not because he was just Pat Summitt's son, but because he was born on third base. He was born on third base, and he ruined it. That's what bothered me the most. Why be jealous? Why hate on someone for being on third base? Why? If you're a parent, you're working each and every day so you can make sure that your kids are born on a base better than the base you were born on. I know that's my motivation.
You just hope that you can direct their path a little bit better than other parents that we're
currently
currently alluding to.
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal, is to make sure that it's easier for our kids than it was for us. Listening to Steve Harvey talk about his motivation. He was on Oprah Winfrey's Masterclass, and he worked so hard because he wants his great grandkids to know his name.
That's real.
I have no problem with that. Grind, man. I respect it. So, good for what, though?
Two quick for what's for me. One is going to the setup over at Carnoustie. I'm all about the majors being more difficult for the PGA. I'm all about these professionals being challenged. But hear me. When you have burnt up fairways, burnt up meaning not manicured to the fullest extent, burnt up to the point where the fairways are rolling faster and more true than the greens over at Carnoustie for this week's Open Championship across the pond, I think that deserves a for what. Even though you're trying to make it a difficult challenge, this will be a unique challenge, but not because you tried to create it in this format. You let the course get away from you in a rare hot summer across the pond. My other for what goes to the ESPN crew last night during the Home Run Derby. Following the Home Run Derby, it was the Celebrity All-Star Game. And they made Bill Nye the Science Guy, who I loved his effort out there. Probably the most serious celebrity in the field last night. He was just loving the moment. It's like he was back home, or someone was back home he was trying to make proud because he was serious. He didn't crack a smile until he was on TV. He strikes out to end the first inning, and they come back from commercial break. Bill Nye's in center field. They've got him mic'd up for the entire half inning. And you can tell he's just distraught, didn't really want to be there, part of the moment, because he had just struck out underhand slow pitch softball on national television, for the Celebrity All-Star Game. It was kind of embarrassing for him. And they still put him on the interview. They didn't move it till later in the game. I just think that could have been better handled. And now Bill Nye the Science Guy, someone we all care deeply about, was embarrassed on national television.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to give a for what to maybe it's ESPN, maybe it's Sports Center, but I'll give it to 43 of the NFL insiders that voted, and Sports Center Twitter account put this out. So they voted on their best NFL lineup under the age of 25. This lineup
is so bad.
Includes Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Fair.
Myles Garrett at defensive end. Miles Jack, Reuben Foster, Marshawn Lattimore, Jalen Ramsey, Jamal Adams, Landon Collins, Joey Bosa, Sheldon Rankins here. You have Jack Conklin. You have Tyreek Hill. You got Stephon Diggs. You got Todd Gurley. And wait for it, you have Saquon Barkley. One of the names that I mentioned don't belong with the rest of them. It has nothing to do with talent. One of these guys has not played a down in the NFL, and you left off Alvin Kamara,
Kareem Hunt,
offensive rookie of the year. Now, Todd Gurley belongs there. Let's just get that.
He's a monster.
Let's get that straight, okay? But Saquon Barkley, you have him in, and he has not played a down of football. He has not played one down for the New York Giants, and you have him in over Alvin Kamara, and I'm not being biased here. Tell me how this makes sense. This contributes to the wussification of America, where we crown people before they actually prove anything. Where we crown people before they actually bring results. Saquon Barkley is a monster. He's unreal. He's a can't-miss prospect. You got to draft him high. Great attitude, works his tail off, and blessed with some great God-given talent. But he hasn't played it down yet. You know what bothers me is when we do these SEC preseason awards and you start to see Kentucky basketball players mentioned in the first team. Wait a minute, they ain't played a drop of basketball yet for Kentucky. We don't know what they're going to do. Let them do it first and then give them the crown. I'm giving these insiders, 43 of Sports Centers and ESPN's NFL insiders, I'm giving y'all a for what?
There's also an article earlier this past week that voted, same ESPN NFL insiders, quarterback bust for the 2018 season, Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is one of the more talented quarterbacks in the league.
As a prediction
He's
that
been in Detroit.
As a prediction that he will bust?
He will bust this coming season.
I mean, hey, I'm okay with that prediction. I'm not okay with this, though.
I just think his talent is way too good not to bust.
Yeah, if they were saying that he's been a bust, that's absurd.
Yeah, that he will
Some
bust.
people have that narrative and have that viewpoint.
He hasn't maybe been as good as I think people were hoping, but that's as far as I would go.
But is
it ain't all on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
He's been MVP quality last year. I mean, he's been really, really good. But yeah,
just now has a defense that's starting to be put together.
Alvin Kamara, offensive rookie of the year, but we're putting Saquon Barkley above him, and he hasn't played it down yet. Just really silly, if you ask me. Contributes to the wussification of America. 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Tennessee got themselves a big-time commitment yesterday. It's more around the corner. We'll talk recruiting coming up next.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
Hey, Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell him Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com.
Warranty good at participating dealers.
It's Christmas in July at Better Mattress. Better Mattress has teamed up with Home Depot, and with select purchases, you can get a free Weber grill or choose a free adjustable base or a free headboard footboard while supplies last. Better Mattress has brands you know like Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, plus the brand I love, the Better Mattress brand, handcrafted in East Tennessee. Go to Better Mattress and get a free adjustable base, free headboard footboard, or free Weber grill while supplies last. 6 area locations, bedrmattress.com.
Jason Swain here. June is Men's Health Month. Gentlemen, question. Do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy, and you'll know your results in about 20 minutes. And this month, Low T Center is even offering a special $50 testosterone and prostate level test. Gentlemen, don't wait anymore. Call Low T Center today at 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Today's lunch special at Daddy and Barbecue. Let me just tell you something, folks. It's probably my favorite sandwich right now. It's my favorite sandwich.
That's saying something.
It is next level. It is mind-blowing. It is life-changing. Let me explain why, and then I'm going to go to the phones. Let me just explain why. It's called the chicken tender sandwich. Hand-breaded dead-end chicken tenders, topped with the smoked cheddar, bacon, sliced tomatoes, hot honey, and ranch served on a dead-end ciabatta-style bun and one choice of side. That is your special today. But let me just talk about this hot honey sauce that Dead End puts on this on this chicken. It is sweet. It has a little kick to it. And I'm telling you, it will knock your taste buds out of your mouth. It's that good. I'm telling you. Today, go to Daddy and Barbecue and try the chicken tender sandwich. And when you try it, hit me up on Twitter, email, hit me up. I want you to hit me up and let me know that I was telling you the truth. Just let me know. It's that serious. It is the real deal. I love that sandwich. All right, let's get to Jay on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Jay, good morning.
Swain, good morning, man. You're starving me to death.
Dude, I'm telling you, that chicken tender sandwich, it's wicked, man. It's wicked. It's good stuff.
Everything at Dead End's good.
That is true.
Swain, we talked about in-state recruiting not too long ago, and
yep.
I want to preface this by saying, before I say what I want to say, I want to preface this by saying, I like Jeremy Pruitt. I like everything he's done. I like the going back to the traditional uniforms. He's the antithesis of Butch Jones, and I love that because I could not stand Butch. But if we are keeping it real, if you keep it real, if Butch Jones, Jeremy Pruitt's pulling in a lot of 3-stars. Let's just keep it real. At the time right now, Jeremy Pruitt is pulling in a lot of 3-stars right now. And when Butch was doing that, he caught all kinds of flack later on in his career. I remember the hashtags. They were calling us 3-star U, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at just the star rankings, maybe these kids will end up being great players. But if we're keeping it real, if you look at just the star rankings, if Butch was pulling this class in his 5th or 6th year, he would be getting raked over the coals right now by fans. And Pruitt, it's like, oh, well, he's doing his evaluation different, so it's all good. I mean, do you see that? Am I the only one that sees that?
No, I mean, I understand that where you're coming from. This is what I know. I'm going to tell you what I know. I do know that the evaluations are done differently. I do know that. I do know that Butch Jones did recruit guys because it looked good. It would be exciting to recruit a top 5 class, top 10 class, and he did chase stars. That is fact. That happened. You mentioned Butch later on in his career that when you compare Pruitt, what he's doing right now. Butch Jones early had really good recruiting classes. They're in 14 and 15. But what Butch proved is that he didn't know how to coach them. He couldn't develop them. So then when we started getting those 3 stars in the 16 class, we started to be afraid and worried because if you can't coach and develop a 4 or 5-star player, how the heck are you going to coach and develop a 3-star player?
Yeah.
So that's the difference for me right now because this is Pruitt's first year. Let's see how these 3 stars will pan out. We just saw how some players got a bump in their rating when 247 did their rankings. We'll see what happened with Rivals. I'm telling you right now, there's some funny business going on with Rivals in the state of Tennessee and how they rank kids. I'm telling you that is a 100% fact. There's funny business going on.
Chris, just not giving them enough credit or something, or overhyping them.
It's both. It's not giving guys the credit they deserve because of personal beef with grown-ups, and then there's kids who are being overhyped because of personal relationships. That is going on in the state of Tennessee by Rivals. It has no reflection on VolQuest at all because they don't do rankings. They had nothing to do with rankings. But on a regional level and a national level, there's some funny business going on with how Rivals ranks kids in state. I'm telling you that right now. It is going on. So I take the rankings as a kind of a grain of salt in the state right now. But I understand from your perspective, looking at this class, going, wait a minute, man, Pruitt's supposed to be the national recruiter of the year. He's coming from Bama. He got this, all-star SEC coaching staff, 3-star. Wait a minute, and I think that's the difference between Pruitt's first year and Butch's 4th year. Is Butch already proved that he couldn't coach up the highly talented players, and so you didn't want to see those 3 stars. Let's see what Pruitt does with these players that he has identified as being championship quality. Let's see if he's wrong or not.
Well,
somebody's wrong. It's either the rankings or Pruitt. Somebody's gonna be wrong here soon.
Yeah. No, I understand, and look, I'm more than willing to give Pruitt a chance and see because I like the guy. I want him to work out here. But Swain, as you well know, no matter who the rankings are, by what service, as you well know. The teams that win the most also finish highest in the recruiting ranking.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
Clemson,
true.
Ohio, that's just real.
That's
real. So,
that's true.
And in this league, it's so tough because you can finish 20th in the country, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not terrible. You go to the Big Ten, you have a top 3 class in the country, top 3 or 4 class. In your conference. You finish 20th in this league, you're 9th or 10th in your own conference.
Yeah.
That's just keeping it real.
That is real.
I'm gonna trust Pruitt, but I think maybe getting a guy like Darnell Wright, or if we can land Quavarius Crouch, that will make me feel more at ease. I guess too.
Yeah, I think what we have done, and we kind of need to pump the brakes a little bit, is that we're putting way too much trust into recruiting analysts, evaluators, and
yes,
not to say that they don't deserve some trust. Not to say that they don't work hard, that they don't take their craft seriously, because Bart Simmons is one of the best in the business.
It's not perfect science,
and I know he does. But we have this unfair expectation by the recruiting analysts to be perfect. I'm sorry. NFL GMs are not perfect. NFL scouts are not perfect. They draft guys that don't pan out all the time. And so sometimes you're going to be wrong, but you want to be wrong with the good intentions. You want to be wrong by following your guidelines, your indicators of, this is what makes a really good player. Guys who play 2 sports, guys who play this sport, guys who possess this type of athleticism, guys that have this type of attitude, guys who are inside this type of football program. There's indicators that tell you that these players may work out over others, but I think we're putting way too much stock in these recruiting analysts. I'm sorry. They're good, but they're not great, and they're wrong sometimes. And let's wait and see if Pruitt is wrong. Now, there are some in-state players that Pruitt wants, but because of the Tennessee relationship with this young man, and it was the previous staff that did not give this kid much attention, you lose Bill Norton.
I mean, you lost another DB from Memphis that went to LSU. And so those are battles that you're trying to repair. And there's also guys that you had on campus and that maybe want to come to Tennessee that are highly rated in Tennessee, but you just don't want them. Doesn't mean they're not good players, but they don't fit what you want to do. So there's a perception that's going on with in-state recruiting, and hopefully I'm able to shed some light on it. Hopefully.
No, you are. You know what, Swain? I'll say this, man. The man said it, so I'm going to take him for his word. He wants to beat Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. I mean, he understands, because Coach Fulmer understands that. That's how you're judged here at Tennessee. So, hopefully he thinks these are the guys that are going to carry him to that because, as you well know, that's what you're judged here. It ain't beating Vanderbilt or Kentucky. I'm so disgusted that Butch Jones and that idiot lost to them like he did. But, that should be an afterthought. It's Florida, Bama, and Georgia, and that's who we need to be judged against.
That's right. Always.
Amen, brother. I'll see you.
Thank you. Always will be judged that way. Your job at Tennessee is always judged by what you do versus those big three, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. So try not to discredit, 247 and discredit Rivals and ESPN, but I'm sorry, I just take the ratings as a grain of salt right now. I want to know who's going to be right. Is it going to be Pruitt and company, or is it going to be the recruiting analyst? Because we don't know in year one. In Butch Jones' fourth year, okay, we started to figure it out. But comparing Jeremy Pruitt's first real class to Butch's fourth class, I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Because Butch proved that he couldn't coach highly rated players.
Yeah, there was so much more context
yes.
to Butch by that point. He, obviously had problems coaching in game, had problems developing players. Like there was a lot there to make a judgment about Butch at that point. And with Pruitt right now, I'm not going to throw that judgment on him yet. That's not fair to him at all. So
here is a really bad thing about the rankings, and each year as we go on, it gets worse unless we see some major changes. There's so much put on you coming to our camp. So Rivals has their 5-star camp, and if you don't come to our camp, we ding you for it. And what planet is Trey Smith the fourth best player in the state of Tennessee? And there's not a planet. There's not a planet where Trey Smith is the fourth best player in the state. But what happened was in 2017, Trey Smith said, I'm not going to a Rivals camp. And they put him fourth in the state. That's a problem. If that is affecting your rankings, that's a problem. You, as the evaluator, you have a responsibility. Take your butt to his football games. Take your butt to other events. But just because he didn't go to your event, you can't ding him. Your job is to get it right, not be petty. You have these camps, and now we're putting so much weight on them. The opening, we're putting weight on the Nike camp, and when guys compete against each other, that's where guys are being. That's why sometimes you see guys move in the rankings, and guys are ranked at certain positions, because if you go out and you go up against the best defensive end in the country, if you want to get Morris, and you're dominating him, I'm sorry, there's no other place but to put you number one and number two, right? That's what happens. But what also happens is players get dinged for not attending a specific camp. Because I don't want to go to your camp, because I don't maybe have the resources, or, hey, I have an injury that I'm nursing, or my high school season is more important than me camping somewhere. Deshaun McKinney, player at Fulton, took a visit to Kentucky his junior year, tore his ACL right before football season was about to start at Fulton High School. Had to sit out his whole junior year. And now he's a senior with one last opportunity to make an impression to go to college. So sometimes going to these camps are not beneficial when you already have many offers. If you have a ton of offers, why go to camp? You're only sometimes risking yourself getting hurt.
So that's another way to think about it too.
We talk about perspective a lot on this show with whatever it may be. Let me ask a question. Why do we have these rankings? Honestly, why are these rankings even a thing? Why do they exist? They exist for the fans, correct? It's not like coaches are going across the country and using this to recruit. They have other avenues, other access points, other connections, other networking.
Publicly, they say they don't do it. They say they don't care. Probably they do care about the rankings. Some of them, maybe most of them.
But how do we get to that point? I mean, the rankings were created for the fans, and then some of the people that are doing these rankings, not all, as we've mentioned, but some of these people that are doing these, what are their qualifications? I feel like so much heart and so much effort goes into, like, thinking, okay, well, if we have a certain number when it comes to within the conference ranking and national ranking, we're going to be okay. That makes me feel better going into the next year, when we all know deep down it's a year and a half, 2.5 years later removed when you're going to see the fruition of said class that we're talking about. This is for the fans. You can try to stay more updated with it, but don't get so emotionally invested in what number or how many stars is beside the guy's name. Wait till it pans out.
And always think about it. And, yeah, this is cynical.
This is a talking point. It's a list. Lists are to be discussed. But it's not all an exact science.
But always think about it like this, and this is definitely cynical, but it is the way that it is. This is a business. They're trying to make money. They're not in it for the kids.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, come on!
Not
now.
all entities are in it for the kids.
I wouldn't make a sweeping generalization on that one.
Some individuals within the business are in it for the kids.
Yeah, because
the business is not in it for the kids.
Well, the business helps most of the kids. I mean, it puts kids on the map.
But they're not there to help these kids make it through college. They're there to make money. They're there to make money for their shareholders. And that's at the end of the day, that's
their avenue.
And like I said,
it's fair. It's a business.
I said it's cynical. I mean, it is what it is. But you always have to think about it like that too.
I mean, it is a business. But I know several people in the industry that rank kids and that evaluate kids, and it's a joy to them. They know about kids committing somewhere, and they choose not to say anything because they want that kid to have a special moment. I mean, they build a relationship. I remember guys that I talked to, the Brent Hubbs and the Tim Watts of the world. I still remember those same guys. You know, Bruce Feldman. They enjoy connecting with young people. So the business, when it was constructed by business mogul Shannon Terry, who created Rivals and then sold it and then created 247.
Dude's a genius.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is a business concept that it's going to make a lot of money. This is awesome. But there's a lot of folks that have worked for Rivals, that work at Rivals, same thing for 247, ESPN, that they enjoy what they do because they enjoy connecting with young people.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But at the end of the line, there are the individuals within the company that love it and want to see these kids succeed. But at the end of the line, they're in it for that bottom line. 24/7 Sports is a business with shareholders.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you sacrifice doing what's right for business. And I think for the most part,
ideally.
everyone tries to do what's right by the kids and try to do the right thing because they are a professional. There's some who are not, and I'm just letting you know it's happening. It's just a small few, but right quick, the team rankings. If you go look at the team rankings at these sites, they usually correlate to the teams who have a chance at winning a championship. Go look at the top 10 teams. So those rankings kind of matter. Got to get good players to win at a high level. That's our time for today. Swain event fueled by Data and Barbecue. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. We're out.
Our review of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com.